are number 5, Charlie Scoggin, and number 7, Chase Parker. The strong safety is number 3, Caden Jones, and at free safety, number 10, Luke Pennington. And now for the Sayre Spartans starting offensive lineup. At left tackle, number 77, Jack Bernard. At left guard, number 62, Nicholas Willis. The center is number 74, Tyler Francis. At right guard,
Kim, when are we coming on?
Ben Matheny. At right tackle, number 50, Cayman Peevler.
Welcome into Sayre Spartan football here on 96.1 The Zone. Angelo Carriero here on play-by-play. Josh Moore, he's on the sideline tonight. Tonight, I have a special guest that is going to be the color commentator for this evening. My guest of honor here is Pat Madden. Pat, it is awesome to have you, and I'm so glad to have you on a night like tonight because it is senior night here. Now, this team's a little light on the seniors. Not many guys out here that have the four-year captaincy or however you want to call it. But to see the way that this team has progressed throughout this year and has progressed over these kids over the last 4 years from starting as a cradle program to what they have now, Pat, it's just been remarkable to see.
I can remember the first game out here. We had no lights. We had no stands. We had no fans. We had no players. Now look at what we got. A beautiful evening, perfect evening for football, lights, stands. And when we started this program, every play was a jet sweep. There was motion, deception, every play. Chad told me tonight we're going straight down their throat. We're going right downhill at these guys. We've progressed to the point where we don't have to run the jet sweep every play. Our line can match up with this line. And to understand how long it's taken to get to that point, is really, it's a work of art, and credit to Chad. Credit to the school where it's come.
It's just I'll tell you what, looking at what Coach Pennington has done over the last couple of years, really what he did with Cole and then Luke coming in and just some of the players that they had. Now, there's some news. Brock Hoffman is going to be out because he has suffered an injury. Cannot get into the specifics. I'm not at liberty to say that. But he is not going to be playing after what I thought was just a dirty, rotten hit in the game against Hazard that ultimately led to a 25-21 Hazard victory. They were leading 21-13.
They were going to win the game.
Brock. They were going to win the game. Brock Hoffman, for those who didn't get a chance to either listen or watch the game last week, Brock Hoffman had 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions in 2.5 quarters before he was taken out of the game on a dirty play, and it was just really unfortunate to see. But take nothing away from it. Like you said, Coach Pennington is going to run it right down their throats tonight against this Paris Greyhound team that's 9th in Class A. They come in at 6-2. We are going to get to all of the game action here shortly, but before that, we're going to take a quick break, and we are going to hear Josh Moore's interview with head coach Chad Pennington previewing this game against the Paris Greyhounds. Angelo Carriero, Pat Madden, Josh Moore on sidelines. This is Sayre Spartan Football on Sports 96.1 The Zone.
Bud's Gun Shop and Range, Kentucky's largest firearms retailer, has a huge selection of Ruger and other firearms to rent, so you can try before you buy. Our knowledgeable staff will help you find the perfect, rugged, reliable firearm from Ruger, like Precision, Mark IV, and American. We also have beginning firearms classes, corporate team building events, and free seminars. Bud's Gun Shop, Industry Road behind Eastland Shopping Center in Lexington, and inside Uncle Lee's in Greenville, Kentucky.
Send your kids back to school with the perfect snack in the backpack. Mingy Beef Jerky. It's all natural, no preservatives, no nitrates, cut from a solid piece of beef. And it comes in a wide variety of flavors. Original, Cajun, garlic and onion, sweet and hot, barbecue. A great snack for the kids. And mom and dad, too. And Mingy Beef Jerky is a big supporter of high school sports in Kentucky. Mingy Beef Jerky and MingyBeefJerky.com. Check them out on Facebook and at Mingy Beef Jerky on Twitter.
Buchart & Walks Orthodontics use the highest quality dental treatments and technologies to help their patients achieve the best possible oral health results. They keep your dental goals and needs at the forefront of everything they do. At Buchart & Walks Orthodontics, they take the time to explain your dental treatment in their comfortable environment with the belief that any treatment should be tailored to your needs and goals. 2 convenient locations in Lexington, downtown on East Main and on Perimeter Drive, as well as Frankfort on King's Daughter Drive. Buchart & Walks Orthodontics, dedicated to excellence, dedicated to your smile.
DV8 Kitchen serves life-changing breakfast and lunch daily. Try the DV Ocho plate, orange marmalade chicken on a warm biscuit, General Tso tacos, chicken salad, or the best burger in town. Our croissants, cookies, famous cinnamon rolls, and sourdough bread is made fresh daily. Dine in at one of our restaurants on either South Broadway or Midland at 3rd. Order to go, order online, or have us cater your next event. Check us out at dv8kitchen.com.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by the Friends of Sayre football program.
96-1 The Zone. Josh Moore here with Sayre football coach Chad Pennington. The Spartans are coming off a narrow 25-21 loss at Hazard, one of the toughest teams in class today and one of the toughest places to play. They'll host the Paris Greyhounds this week for senior night. Chad, just what can you tell me about this senior class, what it's meant to you guys at Sayre?
Well, Josh, although it's a small class, we have a foundational leader in Jake Nora, who I've actually coached since he was in 3rd grade from flag football all the way up, and he's been so instrumental in helping get our program started. It's been a difficult year for him battling injury, but he's been such a foundational piece. Brady Atkins has been phenomenal kicking the football and being a multi-sport athlete. Been really proud of him. Nicholas Willis came to us from Beechwood, and these last 2 years have just been awesome just to watch him grow and progress, not only as a football player, but just as a young man. He's just so talented academically as well. And then we had Rudy Conley came back. He was part of our original 2018 class where our 8th graders participated, and then he decided to come back as a senior, which was great to see. Wanted to be part of the brotherhood and continued to help build. And then Zay Justine came over from soccer and was a dual sport athlete this fall season. Did a great job for us. So those 5 guys, although a small class, I think have been very instrumental in assisting us in keeping the program going and building the program for the future.
You mentioned some dual sport guys there. Just how critical, I know at every small school it's important to have those guys who want to play every sport. And, I remember growing up where I grew up in Martin County, there were guys who played 5 sports, which seemed kind of crazy at the time. But, when you look back on it, that's kind of what you have to do at places, like Sayre. What do you do to encourage guys to just play them all?
Well, first of all, I think that's why we chose Sayre as a family. We believe in the multi-sport athlete experience. We believe in our kids experiencing more than just one sport, not playing one sport all year round. We don't think it's the healthy way to go. And so that's number one. Number 2, you then have to look at the flip side. And when you look at today's environment around sports, I do think the days of playing 4 or 5 sports are not as common, number 1, and not as prudent, number 2, because with varsity sports today, it's so important that you train your body as an athlete. And I think it's important that you give yourself 1 season to do that and to really focus in the weight room, strength train, and agility train. We've gotten into too much playing games and fall ball and baseball or soccer, and we just play it all year round. And for me, that's not healthy for the athlete. If you speak to one of my doctors, Dr. James Andrews, he's talked about this extensively, and it's really important that these kids have a chance to train their bodies and rest their bodies and move on to another sport to just create some different things in their life, learning how to compete in different arenas and those types of things. So we think that's really healthy. And at Sayre, as coaches, we work really hard to share athletes, to work with each other with our schedules so that our kids do not have to choose one sport.
So what about this Paris team? I see they have a junior, Jakari Ransom, who seems pretty dynamic with their leading receiver and their leading rusher, and a quarterback who's who's put up some good stats. What can you tell me about what the Greyhounds are trying to do tonight?
Well, they're an exciting team to watch because they have so much speed on the field. They have not only Jakari, but also other players that anytime they touch the football can go the distance. And so when you play a team with this type of speed, you have to be very disciplined, number one, in your alignment. You cannot be misaligned on defense or offense, or they will certainly hurt you. And then, two, you have to be disciplined in your technique and your execution of the technique because they have the type of athleticism. If you're not fundamentally sound, they will take advantage of that. And they've done a great job of that all year. They're 6-2. They've had some impressive wins. And so this will be a big-time challenge for us. We've got to make sure that we understand it's a 4 to 5 quarter ball game is what we've talked about all week. And we've got to make sure we've got to grind it out and stay in it. There's going to be some adversity. Don't know what that looks like. They're going to make some big plays. So how do we handle that type of adversity? There may be a call that doesn't go our way. It doesn't matter. Whatever doesn't go our way, it's how we respond to that. That's most important for our team.
Tell the listeners about some of the other fun stuff going on over there tonight. It's obviously senior night, but there's a few other things going on at Sayre this evening.
Absolutely. It's a great weekend for Sayre School and its community. First of all, it's alumni weekend across the board, so that's always exciting. It's senior night for us to celebrate these 5 seniors. It's also Sayre Football Alumni Night, where we're going to celebrate guys who helped us start the program in 2018 and helped us all the way through last year. We're also going to celebrate those guys who were part of the program from 1976 and before. Those guys have been such an instrumental part of supporting us and coming out. Talked to many of those guys. They're so excited to have football back at Sayre, and they know what it meant to them as young men and how that football helped develop them for the next chapter in their lives. And so that's a great thing. We also are going to celebrate our Pioneer Football Club. That's a football club that's made up of Sayre school students and the Lexington school students, as well as students around the Central Kentucky area. And so that's a fun part too. Youth football is where it's at. If we're going to keep this sport of ours healthy and growing and improving, we've got to have great men and women involved in youth football that want to teach great technique and want to provide great experiences, whether it be flag or tackle. And so we're going to celebrate that as well.
This week's Sayre Athletic Spotlight is brought to us by Bucart and Walks Orthodontics. Chad, who would you like to put a spotlight on?
Josh, I'm going to spotlight our boys lacrosse program. It is led by head coach Adam Riddle. Adam played lacrosse at Navy and was a national champion. And he has just done an absolutely amazing job of establishing a great program at Sayre in lacrosse. The lacrosse team is led by senior Tommy Mulligan, a college prospect who's been all over the nation playing, been ranked. And so what an exciting player he is. Anytime the ball is in his stick, the thing's probably going in the net at some point in time. And so really excited to watch these guys play this spring. And they're exciting bunch to watch, and Coach Real just does such an excellent job. I wish I had lacrosse when I was growing up. It's such a growing sport. I think I would really enjoy lacrosse. That would have been another sport I would have tried to play.
It's such a fun one to watch. That was something that I've been a revelation to me since living in Lexington. It's a really fun sport to watch.
It really is, and it ties well with football. I've actually talked to the commissioner of the NFL about how well football and lacrosse go together. Personal story, I actually put Cole in lacrosse as a middle schooler. I thought he needed to get a little bit more physical in football, so I put him in lacrosse thinking, well, he'll get hit by a stick every once in a while. I may toughen him up a little bit. So it's a great sport to watch. It's about 4 or 5 sports combined into one, so it's a fun thing to be a part of.
We appreciate your time, Coach. We'll be back with kickoff right after this. Sayre football here on 96.1 The Zone.
Winter Circle Trailer Sales and Service is proud to sponsor Sayre football.
Carrying high-quality brands like 4-Star, Cornbro, Wells Cargo, and Adam Trailers.
Winter Circle Trailers is in the heart of horse country, committed to serving customers nationwide with new and used horse trailers, and their #1 priority is customer satisfaction.
Call our team for your next trailer. We offer financing and accept trade-ins.
Winter Circle Trailer Sales and Service, 3 miles from Kentucky Horse Park, off I-75, close to I-64.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by the Friends of Sayre football program.
Sayre Spartan football here on Sports 96.1 The Zone. Angelo Carriero, Josh Moore on the sidelines tonight with my guest of honor, color commentary, Pat Madden. We are ready for kickoff here. Pregame show was brought to you in part by DV8 Kitchen. Thank you to everyone that helps make the Sayre Spartan football program go, and including these. We were talking about it during the break. I'll tell you one thing, night games are easy here with the lights that we have here and everything. I mean, we are about ready to go under the Friday night lights, but you were telling me it's not always been like that.
In the first game, we had Chad found these temporary lights, and I swear the two corners of the end zone, you could not see the ball. It was dark in the corners, and that's when a couple of us got together, so we got to take care of this. So that's what we did.
Well, one guy that could take care of that, even in the dark, would have been Brock Kaufman, but you told me that Brock Kaufman is reportedly or definitively
out with a concussion.
Out with a concussion. It was definitely a head injury, I could tell from what happened. And that's just such a shame.
It's terrible.
And it's gonna make this offense and defense a lot tougher for Sayre. But here's the kickoff, and it's caught at the 35-yard line, bringing it out to the left side here and taken down at the 37-yard line. Sayre caught that
Grant Branson returns the kick
into the
from his
kickoff.
30-yard line to the 48.
Grant Branson, the tight end, luckily could handle it. Usually the up guy like that's not used to catching passes, but he handled it fine.
No, unless it's the hands team up that close, they definitely aren't used to that. We have Luke Pennington coming back out on the field, and Luke just absolutely spectacular this year statistically. He's thrown 18 touchdowns to only 3 interceptions, has ran one in as well, 65.1% completion percentage on the year. 2 wide receivers to the right, back in the backfield, and that sleigh ball taking it off the left side and turning the corner, and he's knocked out of bounds around the 43-yard line, but they're going to say he's in play.
Charlie Slayball on the carry. He gains 5 yards.
We'll take that every day on first down with 7 yards.
Second and 5.
5 yards, I guess.
And I compare Charlie Slayball often to the just traded Christian McCaffrey, who last night headed over to the San Francisco 49ers from the Carolina Panthers, but his game's very reminiscent of that. He's a great receiver, was the top receiver before Brock kind of took over, and is now their leading ball carrier. 2 wide receivers to the right. Man comes in motion, and they're going to give it to Slayball on the right this time, trying to stretch him out to the sideline. He cuts up, and I think he gained a couple of yards there, but he really had to earn those.
Really lucky to not be tackled for a loss. The lineman was in the backfield shortly after the handoff, but he was able to get around him, but had nowhere to go.
Nowhere to go.
Yeah, pick up 1 yard.
He breaks a lot of these tackles. He's got a really strong low center of gravity that he's able to use, but not all of the time can he get away, especially when there are that many Greyhounds around. By the way, Paris 6-2 coming into this game. They rank 9th in Class A, so they have a tough opponent tonight, but they have proven to be very strong. Second-ranked team in Class A last week. If it wasn't for the Brock Kaufman injury, they would have won that game.
No question.
Stewart lined out way to the right. They're going to give it to Slayball on a 3rd straight play, and he's going to go up the middle.
First down. Nice run.
Slayball carries
3 plays, no jet sweeps.
No jet sweeps at all.
Chad, I'm telling you, the first 3 years it was a jet sweep on every play.
Well, you said that you talked to Chad earlier today, and he had said that this is one of those games you couldn't have done that 5 years ago. You can't go up the middle, but with this team,
we
they
can do
absolutely
it.
can.
And Charlie Slayball was originally going to be a free safety, strong safety, actually. That's what he was as a freshman. And then this year they moved him to linebacker.
Tell you what, he's been a darn good linebacker. In fact, he's the team's leading tackler.
Right, it was a good move
on the year. The ball is at the 49-yard line of Paris. 9:43 here and counting. No score yet in the game. As it looks like it's going to be a timeout for Sayre.
They were going to get a motion penalty called.
And we have timeout.
That's why he called the
timeout.
timeout.
Timeout
and which was a good timeout. They had the wrong lineman in. And I think Chad called the timeout from the sideline.
I think he did as well. One thing that I've been noticing, especially last week, Calvin Perez has really come on as the season has followed through. When he first started the season, he wasn't really a sung hero of this team, but Calvin Perez, he has quickly become one of the most dynamic players on this team, to the point where he was exclusively defense up until the Hazard game. They started lining him up in the slot, started lining him up out wide. His role has just increased and increased and increased.
Well, that's classic Chad Pennington. His teams get better and better. The players get better and better as the season goes on. If any of all the high school coaches in Kentucky, I'm taking Chad Pennington. I don't know about you.
No, I'll tell you what. If you can give me another former runner-up to the MVP in the NFL, then yes, I'll take it there. Chad Pennington in 2008 finished second in MVP voting. So if you can give me another one of those, then that's who I'll take. Slay ball now goes out wide to the left. Perez going to line up close to the screen, and then they do have the flag.
They still. I think it was motion again.
Yeah, I think that time. I guess maybe it's the time they start, because obviously, you see.
Oh, no, it was against them. They
drew
him off. I'm mistaken. The motion was good.
5-yard penalty.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things, and especially the way that we've seen Chad Pennington's team grow this year, is that they've been susceptible to being the team that jumps off sides. And as the year has gone on, especially when the going has gotten tough, they're starting to tighten, and they're starting to make the other team have these follies. So it'll be a 1st and 5 after the penalty. Another dual motion. Now another motion again as Coles comes across. Now Pennington's going to throw it out wide. And Perez thought that it was going to be a run play as he blocked his man, and the pass will fall incomplete, set up a 2nd and 5.
Yeah, it looked like they weren't all on the same page there. He kind of threw it in between two spare players, and the one player was blocking downfield. Luckily, he didn't call for blocking downfield.
Exactly. Yeah. Wyatt Moore also, the star freshman lineman, is out this game. As you can see him down on the field. The team comes out in a 2 wide receiver set, bunch to the right. Back to the left to Pennington, 9:32 here in the first quarter. It's going to be Slay ball on that right side, but he's going to cut up the field, and he's going to get a gain of about 3.
A couple yards short. Yeah, we're facing our first big third and
Charlie Slay ball carries for a
back to Chad Pennington. A lot of people don't realize that he was the first quarterback taken in the Tom Brady draft. Did you know that?
I did. Okay, now that you mention it, the 2000 draft, he was, I think, the only first rounder.
He was the only first rounder, yeah.
That's amazing. I mean, there was a time that now I think the tide has shifted slightly to Tom Brady, but there was a time that people would have taken Chad over Tom Brady for a little bit. Now, I think it might be the other way. I'm not sure, though. Man comes in motion this time across the line. And it's the handoff to Slay ball. And boy, you can see him when he gets his legs churning. He goes up
first
field
down,
for a
easy,
first down.
easy.
Ooh.
First down.
Charlie Slay ball carries for a gain of 7 yards.
7-yard gain.
What you see in here, too, is the guy that earlier in the year before he suffered his injury, Travis Smith, has been the guy. And you see him limping on the field.
I know. He's got a sprained ankle, it looks like.
And they said that they weren't going to try to play him as much on offense, try to stick him to defense. But this, you get an ankle sprain, especially one that's maybe more of a high ankle sprain, you have to sit for weeks or else those things can come back on you.
Yeah, he's getting attended to now on the sideline. He is walking on his own.
Angelo Carriero and Pat Madden here on color commentary. Josh Moore on the sideline. You can follow his actions on Josh Moore HL on Twitter. Looks like Jones is going to take the carry.
Not much. A couple yards. No, it's Jones.
Okay.
Caden Jones on the carry. He gains 1 yard. 2nd and 9.
Like you said, Pat.
Looks like 2 yards to me. They said 1 yard. Yeah, it kind of went up the middle. Really wasn't a lot there. Got hit pretty quick, and kind of his momentum took him forward for a couple yards.
Caden Jones, he's been a guy that he's with Brock and Charlie being as dynamic and dominant, quite frankly, as they've been. Caden kind of saw his touches scale back as the season's gone on, but he's a very dynamic athlete, very jitterbug type.
Freshman.
Man comes out in motion. Here's the snap, and I believe that Barnston.
Yeah.
There's a 5-yard false start penalty against Sayre. 2nd and 14.
Just as soon as the snap was about to come off, too. If it was a half second later, they would have been all good. Bring up about a 2nd and 14. Ball's at the 39-yard line of Paris.
Nice drive here. Consumed almost 5 minutes.
Yes, and that's something that we really saw last week against, I guess I really saw last week against Hazard, was that they were able to play the ball control game in the first half, and you keep offenses at bay that way. They need to get a play here soon. Slayball comes in motion, goes back out. It's going to be a swing pass over to Slayball. Pennington got the ball up there, and Slayball's going to cut and make his way up to the 29-yard line.
Gain of about 10. That was a nice swing pass, facing a big third down here.
And Pat, the thing with Luke this year is from the first game to the last game against Hazard, his swing passes have often been kind of low and in front of his target. But like you say, Chad Pennington's players get better as the season progresses. He got that ball up where Slayball could bring it down, and that's the type of play they've seen in practice. It's 3rd and 4. Receivers bunched all across the line.
There was a jet sweep. It didn't work.
We have a 5-yard false start penalty against Sayre.
I guess he came off with the snap quickly. I didn't see who. False start.
I didn't see who. I thought it was a motion penalty, but yeah, they called a false start. I didn't see who it was.
I think maybe where the guy moved as the ball got snapped. I think if it's the dual action of it, but nevertheless, it takes a pretty manageable 3rd and 4 to a 3rd and 9 now. Now Perez and Murphy come off the field. Jones comes into the game. Again, Brock Kaufman out with the concussion suffered last week against Hazard, so they are without their leading receiver and top player of the year so far. So there's trips wide receivers to the right, one man to the left. It's a fake to Caden Jones, throwing it over the middle. That's caught by Slayball, and it's first down and more.
Nice, very nice play.
Pass is complete to Charlie Slayball.
Charlie went out about right around to the first down marker, turned right around. Luke delivered the ball right there, right in the middle of the field. Beautiful play. Ran just like throwing up.
Right in the number. So that'll be a first down and moving the sticks. And like you said, Pat, they have taken up over half of this first quarter so far. 5:35 and counting. No score in the game. It's the first possession of the game, and Sayre has not relinquished the ball. They keep moving it on this Greyhound defense. 2 wide receivers to left. Perez lined up wide right, man in motion. And
got him.
Intercepted.
He had the receiver had his man. He just underthrew it a little bit. If he'd gotten it up a little bit higher to get over the top of the receiver, dropped it in a little bit more.
Murphy had a beat on, it looks like that was on Darian Bell, the sophomore.
He made a nice play. I'm not taking away the play. He made a very nice play. He reached up. He didn't have to quite leap, but it was he had to get a full extension to catch the ball. And, of course, we got him down on the 1-yard line now, right? That's where they are.
Yeah, that is the positive.
That's the positive.
I thought it was in the end zone, but it wasn't. And like you said, if Pennington would have just, the difference of the ball, and that's what football is. You know, they always say it's a game of inches, and that's what it was. The ball was about a 1.5 feet to the right. If it was a 1.5 feet to the left, Owen Murphy would have been untouched
into the end zone.
In the end zone.
Right.
So now it's a 1st and 10. Ball is at the 1-yard line. Oh, he fumbled the snap, and it's recovered.
Safety.
I believe that's in the end zone.
Got to be a safety.
That is. We're waiting for the call. It was.
God,
they called it at the half-inch line?
Fumbled, Paris recovers.
I don't know how that's not a
Still
safety. It was hard from our angle to see. A lot of guys piling on. But can't see exactly.
But one thing I could see from my angle was the ball went behind the quarterback, and they jumped on the ball after it went behind the quarterback, and the only place to go backwards there was the end zone. Let's see if Sayre can get some safety luck on this play.
Shotgun.
2 wide receivers. To each side, 3 on the left, and they throw a little screen pass out to their receiver. Big kid out there, Jakari Ransom. And he's the star to watch this game.
That gives them some breathing room, but not a lot.
3rd and 6.
No, especially if they have to end up punting this ball.
Yeah, they're just on the 4-yard line, aren't they? Yeah.
And the thing about Jakari Ransom to know in this game, you're going to hear his name often because not only is he Paris's leading rusher, he is their leading receiver as well. kid's just a junior. And so we're going to have a 3rd and 6. Caden Frederick, sophomore starting quarterback. He receives the snap. He's going to survey. He's under pressure. He's going to scramble out to the left, and it looks like that he's got a beat, and it is going to be a first down.
First down.
Paris quarterback runs out of the pocket. The game is good for a Paris first
Pressure.
down.
We had good pressure. Had good pressure up the sides, but then the middle was open, and he took it. He went straight up. It was a good play by the quarterback. Was able to scramble and get the first down.
Yeah, not just, sometimes that happens on those whenever they get flushed out. And as a defensive backfield, you're so focused on making sure that you lock up your guy in coverage that sometimes you can forget about the quarterback leaking out the way he did there. And that's going to be a first down for Paris as we march towards the end of the first quarter. It's just such a long possession by Sayre. Ball stayed in bounds, stayed off the ground for the most part in terms of incomplete passes. Now here's a whistle blown, and it's going to be a false start on Paris. So this will back them up. Was it a delay of game?
Yeah, delay of game.
Got it.
Yeah.
1st and 15.
It took a while. I guess they celebrated the first down on that one. We didn't get a safety, but it will be 3:22 on the clock. No score in the game. First drive for the Paris Greyhounds. The ball is at the Sayre, I want to say, 10-yard line, maybe 20, as Bell gets around the side, and Bell's going to be tackled hard towards the sideline.
It sets up a big 3rd down. Delay. We're 2nd down.
Just from the delay of game.
Yeah. I count that as a play. So
we should
pick up of about 4.
2nd and 5.
Maybe 5. They're giving me 5. Oh, no, 10. Sorry, because they had the delay game 5 yards back. So he picked up 10 yards on the delay. 2nd and 5 now.
And you kind of want to, obviously you want to limit any big plays, but especially in those situations where if you can get a team into a 3rd and long, they start to panic, especially when you have high school kids out here. 2 wide receivers to each side. Bell comes back in motion. They're going to hand it off to Ransom in the backfield. He's going to make a couple of plays, and this kid is big. And he can cut.
And the Paris is good for a first
nice
down.
Run there. He was basically gang tackled at that point by about 3 or 4 Spartans. But it was a nice pickup. Nice hole. It was a nice hole he ran through, too.
It looks like that's what it's going to take to get that kid down. I mean, I think he's a head taller than his
teammates. 1st and 10 Paris from the Paris 30-yard line.
Now Frederick might be the tallest, but they've got 2 wide receivers to each side, showing a real spread look out here. Great linebacking play as it's fake to Bell. Kendrick is going to look downfield. He's going to start running right, and he wants to run, and he's not going to make it as Perez forces him
on the tackle for Sayre is number 25.
There wasn't a lot of pressure on that play, but our coverage was really good. Obviously, he couldn't get it off. Chad told me before the game that Paris' game was to spread people out. They want to get it out to the outside. Although we've seen them have some luck running it up the middle, but Chad was expecting them to try to get the ball out to the outsides a lot because of their speed.
And I think Kendrick, what we've seen early on is he looks like a kid that might kind of have the happy feet back there, like wanting to run maybe sooner than he should. So we'll keep an eye on that as the game progresses. And now that's a false start again. It looked like maybe 2 men coming in motion on that one, but it did trigger the false start. And again, this is a spot for Sayre where you want to make sure that you limit this 2nd down. Now that, you like I say, you want to limit every 2nd down, but in this specifically, if you can force them to a 3rd and extra long.
Yeah, 2nd and 15. Don't give them 10 here like we did last time.
By the way, love to see this down on the field, but Jake Nara at least got to suit up for his senior night. He has not been able to play this year because of concussions. That just wasn't allowed back onto the field with all the all the spotlight on protocols and whatnot. It's just good to see him be able to dress with his team.
Jake would have made a huge difference on this team if he'd gotten to play.
I've
seen that kid progress from freshman to the beast he's become as a senior. It's just a shame he's not getting to play.
And the thing that I really admire about him is that early on, when Josh and I first started getting this iteration of the Sayre Spartan football. By the way, Angelo Carriero, Pat Madden here on color commentary, Josh Moore doing social media on the sidelines. I talked to Jake, and he told me what was going on. I said, look, if there's ever a time that you can choose whenever you want to be our sideline reporter, if you can't play, I said, just feel free. Like, we'll give you a mic, we'll go down there, you can get some, maybe start to a career that he would want to pursue. But he is so dedicated to the game of football, to his team, to his own hopes of coming back, that he never took me up on it, even though he seemed really interested. It was just he wanted to put this team first, no matter what.
He's been a great teammate. My son played with him. He was a great teammate. Nothing but props.
He's a good kid. It's one of those things. It is unfortunate, but we do have Brock Kaufman out with a concussion as well. It's just you really just hate to see that with kids this young, especially with Jake being a senior. No, at least with Brock,
he'll be back. Yeah, hopefully he'll be back next game. Brock, actually.
By the way, from our sideline reporter Josh Moore, he said that it looked like that Jack Bernard had a little bit of a nosebleed. That's why they had to stop and get that situated. And so now we've got two wide receivers to the left, and it's going to be in the backfield to Ransom, and look at him.
No gain, or little gain, maybe a yard. Nothing up the middle.
And making the tackle for Sayre, number 13,
they spread us out.
Stewart.
Had a guy motion to the sideline like they were going to go swing something out to the outside and went up the middle.
Third and 13.
Nowhere. And this is exactly what it sets up now. A third and long. 3rd and 13. Minute 34 counting here in the first quarter. No score between Sayre and Paris. He's going to flip it out to the sideline, and it's going to be too high, incomplete.
If he'd had more time, he could have completed the pass. He had the receiver a few yards short of the first down. He would have had to run to get it. But luckily we got pressure from two guys. He had to rush the pass, and he overthrew it.
And I think that this defense, or at least whatever they've been game planning for, it really does seem like that Caden Frederick is just a little early on everything. He seems like maybe there's a little bit of pressure, and maybe he senses that this Sayre defense has the ability to get after him tonight.
Yeah, it feels like we're winning the battle of the trenches so far, both in the run game and the pass pressure game.
My game, too, like I said earlier, where he ran prematurely, he also fumbled the first snap of the game. Yes. So this is one of those where you try to get a mind game. Here's another flag, I believe, on they're counting now.
Players.
Let's see, on.
And there's an illegal substitution penalty against
illegal substitution, yeah.
I think there are 12 men on the field at one time. Can't have that happen.
The 5-yard
so that'll back them up even more.
And 18.
Yeah, this game is really, except for one play, has been all Sayre so far.
Wow, our Caden's awful short. I guess they've scouted this kicker. Doesn't think he can kick it very far.
And here is the punt, and it's a high riser. Well, one thing about Caden Jones, he can make people miss, and there he goes. As he gets one man to slip off him, it took about 3 or 4 Greyhounds to get him down. Jones gets the ball to Paris's 44-yard line, so great field position to start for Sayre.
Great field position. Caden lined up on about their 45, which would have been about a 25-yard punt in the air. He had to back up about 5 yards. He kicked it about 30 yards from the line of scrimmage, I'm talking. And then Caden got it and was able to move about 7 yards from there. But because he had to run back, he didn't have his momentum going forward. He didn't get his speed going quite as well as he could have.
That's the thing, too. Not every team has the pleasure of having a Brady Atkins that is a dual threat with his leg, punting and kicking. As Slayball gets the carry up to the middle, near right side, gets a gain of
2 yards, 3, 2.
Charlie Slayball,
I think Slayball is going to get a healthy dose. His carries have just skyrocketed since really – Pat, there was a stretch of games where Brock Kaufman caught 30 passes in 3 games, and I think they realized that when we throw the ball, it's going to Brock. And we can't just have Charlie doing nothing out here because he's so valuable and dynamic to the team. They put him at running back and have utilized him in that way, and he's been great at it since he's moved. Perez comes in motion, comes behind Pennington. It's going to be a handoff, and Slayball lowers his shoulder, but kind of gets dragged down with the impact there.
Carries for 2 yards.
That's Preston. Yeah, that's a lead tackler, right?
Yep, Preston Coe.
Yeah, he's a big guy, and Slayball had a little trouble like getting his feet going. He kind of slipped when he first got the ball, so he didn't have a lot of speed. And And then Preston was in the backfield pretty quick, so really nowhere to go.
Cowan averaging 11 tackles a game.
Wow, he's a big guy.
Yes, he is. We have 1 second left, and that's going to take us to the end of the first quarter. The first half is brought to you by Mod Pizza and the Friends of Sayre program. It is no score here at the end of the first quarter, but Sayre looks like they are in position to strike. Big third down when we come back. Josh Moore on the sidelines. Angelo Carriero, Pat Madden here with me on color commentary. You're listening to Sayre Spartan Football here on Sports 96.1 The Zone.
DV8 Kitchen serves life-changing breakfast and lunch daily. Try the DV Ocho plate, orange marmalade chicken on a warm biscuit, General So tacos, chicken salad, or the best burger in town. Our croissants, cookies, famous cinnamon rolls, and sourdough bread is made fresh daily. Dine in at one of our restaurants on either South Broadway or Midland at 3rd. Order to go, order online, or have us cater your next event. Check us out at dv8kitchen.com.
Mod Pizza is the hot new fast casual restaurant where you and your friends can enjoy your very own artisan-style wood-fired pizzas. Made on demand, individually sized, handcrafted hot out of a wood-fired oven. Cheese, yes please. Oregano, no thanks. Select from 40 toppings, 8 sauces, and 8 dressings. Choose one or choose them all. Any toppings, one price. Add a custom salad, hand-spun milkshake, house-made iced tea or lemonade, or a local craft beer or wine. You don't have to like the same pizza. Mod Pizza is what you make it. Visit Mod at our Hamburg and Tate Creek Center location. This broadcast is brought to you in part by the Friends of Sayre football program.
Back here with Sayre Spartan Football on Sports 96.1 The Zone. Angelo Carriero on play-by-play, Josh Moore on the sideline, and our guest color commentator, Pat Madden. Asked him if it was any relation to John. He could have played it off and said it was, and we would have had another Brett Favre, boom, like up here. But we are starting the second quarter. No score here. Sayre and Paris as Pennington uncorks one. Josh got him, and he's got it. Incomplete, but Murphy had a chance.
He had a chance. He didn't have a lot. I think he was getting separation. The pass was probably a little bit behind him, so he had to slow down a little bit, which allowed the defender to catch up and get his hand in there. It would have been a tough grab. He could have possibly made it, but the defender definitely got his hand on the ball.
Made it about a 50-50 ball.
50-50 ball. That's a good call. Yeah, that's a good description.
And the thing about Owen Murphy, too, is since last year, coming in this year, he is an amazing deep threat. He is a speed demon on those sides, or on those sidelines. And those are the types of plays he can make. As Pennington drops back, this time he throws it more into the flat, and that's where Slayball is, gets the catch, and Slayball stays on his feet. He's tackled at the 20. That's going to be a first down. Almost looking for a touchdown.
Wow. Well, first of all, nice catch. He kind of had to turn his body awkwardly and catch the ball. Then he was met, and he basically broke 2 guys' tackles, and he almost got away to break it. But he had a 15, 20-yard gain.
It was definitely, it was for a first down. I'm not exactly sure what yard line they started. It probably was around a 10-plus yard gain.
Yeah, it was more than 10, yeah.
11-20 and counting here. No score, but Luke Pennington and his offense is knocking on the door of the red zone as Slayball is going to get the jet sweep behind him and go on that left sideline. And once he gets his feet rolling, they don't stop. Gain of about 7.
There's the old Sayre Spartan play right there. The classic jet sweep. Picked up about 8 yards. A nice gain on first down. 7 yards.
I think Chad picked that one out just for you.
Okay.
Charlie Slayball gained
of about
7 yards
6
on the play. 2nd and 3.
It looks like they are well in to their
ball on the 14. Yeah,
well into their red zone. 3 wide receivers to the right. Perez comes in close. 1 wide receiver to the left. Slayball in the backfield. They fake it to Slayball.
No,
it's going to be almost intercepted, but dropped.
Wow.
Luke Pennington's pass is knocked down by the Paris defender.
The announcer said knocked down. It was dropped. It was a little high. It was about helmet high to the defender, but basically he was standing right there, and the ball came, and it looked for a second like he had it, but when he brought it down from his helmet, he dropped it. And it looked like a touchdown. It was going to be a pick 6.
It looked like he had about 3 different times. He caught it, brought it in, and then caught it again before it ultimately hit the ground.
Yeah, but it was the process of bringing it down from his helmet where it started to juggle. Because he caught it clean, really. I mean, but then
Pat. That's why some people play wide receiver and some people play cornerback.
Defense, right, yeah.
And now there's a whistle. There's a stoppage on the field. It's going to be a timeout for Sayre. We're going to take our timeout with them. Angelo Carriero, Pat Madden, Josh Moore here. 10:24, no score. But Sayre is primed to score at any second now. We're going to take 30 seconds here. Sayre Spartan Football Sports, 96.1 The Zone.
Send your kids back to school with the perfect snack in a backpack. Mingy beef jerky. It's all natural, no preservatives, no nitrates, cut from a solid piece of beef. And it comes in a wide variety of flavors. Original, Cajun, garlic and onion, sweet and hot, barbecue. Great snack for the kids. And mom and dad too. And Mingy Beef Jerky is a big supporter of high school sports in Kentucky. Mingy Beef Jerky and MingyBeefJerky.com. Check them out on Facebook and at Mingy Beef Jerky on Twitter.
Back here, Sayre Spartan Football Sports, 96.1 The Zone. Angelo Carriero, Josh Moore on the sidelines, Pat Madden here on color commentary. You can follow us at Angelo Media Lex, at Josh Moore HL, and at Sports 96.1 The Zone. I think it's 961 The Zone on the handle as we're coming out of this timeout. And one thing that we kind of want to see is, you know, Luke kind of get into that dual threat side of himself. Two wide receivers to each side. One man comes in motion. That's Coles along the line. Slayball's going to take it towards the left side. He's going to fall forward. Let's see, where did they place it? Yeah, I don't know why.
There's a flag. There's a flag.
Got it. Interesting.
Yeah, against, looks like it's against it.
Now, what is that? I mean,
there's an illegal motion penalty.
Yeah, I was going to say illegal motion, but
3rd and 8.
I guess nobody moved up to replace him on the line or something.
Yeah, I think not enough guys on the line, probably. One bad bit of news is Travis Smith is in a ice boot on the sideline, has his one shoe off. Looks, we don't have a report from the sideline, but from what I'm seeing, it doesn't look like he's going to make it back.
Which is unfortunate. I mean, the injuries just keep piling up for the Spartans. Man comes in motion this time. Another jet sweep to Slayball out on this side, and he is not going to be able to make up those penalty yards. You know, Pat, I have not seen this team run a jet sweep, or at least remember a real jet sweep this team had run until you mentioned it today. And now that the focus is on it, it's kind of like you wished it into fruition or something.
Well, now this is, we're trying a field goal, right?
The field goal unit is on. Brady Atkins comes onto the field for his attempt. He is 3 for 3 on field goals this season.
39 yards here.
And I think he's only attempted one field goal attempt since his knee dislocation.
Yeah, this is, but there's not much wind right now.
Here's the snap, the hold. Atkins gets it up, and it is an easy. Oh, no, excuse me. Oh, he missed it to the right.
It had the distance.
It had the distance easy, but it just shanked to the right.
Yeah, that's a shame. I think if he, well, of course, earlier the wind was blowing, but now it looks like I can't see the flag. Yeah, no, it's dead. There's no wind now. There was earlier, but
just a push.
Yeah, I don't know. He got enough of it. He was kicking it from the right hash.
And it kind of just stayed right, never really cut back in like he wanted it to. So the score is going to stay the same. 0-0 here in the second quarter, 9:08. And here's the pitch in the backfield, and it's fumbled. And I think Paris was able to jump on top of it. That was Bell that was able to jump on it.
Yeah, hit him right in the numbers, pitched it, and bounced off him forward. Luckily for Paris, that is. Unfortunately for Sayre, he was able to fall forward and fall right on it. Loss of 1.
Really, that's all we've seen out of this offense tonight is Ransom and Bell. I don't think we've really seen anybody else get a touch. And I got to say, Ransom's been impressive, but Sayre's not having a problem so far. There's a little bit of an audible going on at the line. Ransom and Bell both go in motion to the right side. And now it is a jet sweep, and it's fumbled again, but he picks it back up. And now streaking down the right sideline with only Luke Pennington to beat, and he just goes right into his chest.
Oh, wow. He lowered his head straight.
He did. He wanted to serve him a lick.
I think he saw this is the quarterback for Sayre, and I've got him in the open field. I'm going to run him right into him. He didn't even try to avoid him. He put his head straight into his shoulder pad like he was going to bowl him over.
He wanted to make a statement to the quarterback. I think I want to say that was Landon Scott on the play.
Yes, it was.
Frederick on the handoff and the rush to the right. It's a gain of about 7 on the play. I will say this Paris roster has not been
gain of 7 yards on the play, 2nd and 3
over the period of the year. So our apologies if any of the Paris viewers on the Sayre stream that you can find on YouTube, Sayre Spartan Football. They don't match up, but we do have what was the latest given to us.
Pass.
And now it's Frederick rolling out to the right and throwing. He's got a guy wide open and hit out of bounds on the reception. Trey Merle, the freshman.
Wow. There was pressure. We had 3 guys on him. He rolled out to the right, and the guy was wide open. He just found a gap, I guess, in the zone. I mean, he was wide open.
Trey Merle, only a freshman. Get this, Pat. 19 catches, 520 yards, and 7 touchdowns on 19 catches. That is 20th of the season.
Yeah, that guy's, they got him listed at 6'1", but he sure looks bigger than that.
Bright future ahead of him. Man in motion. Frederick's going to pop it right back over to Merle. And Merle's able to stay on his feet after kind of merry-go-round, and now he's going to try to Reggie Bush it to his right.
It's not working.
Right there. It's not going to work. What a tackle on the backside.
Yeah, he had a catch for 4 or 5 yards.
And the Sayre tackle was made by number 30.
Sayre spun him around, and he spun out of it and went backwards. Yeah. And he turned a 5-yard gain into a
2nd and 10.
Camden Stout has been absolutely stout as a freshman. 40 tackles on the year, his 41st there. And you're right. I mean, Merle had a couple of opportunities to cut it back up, but he wanted it all. And part of gambling is sometimes you get nothing.
Yeah, that's what happened.
6:39 left here and counting in the first half. Halftime. As Frederick is going to drop back on
too much
play. Roll out to his left. He's going to want to run. He tries, but he's taken down. Not much of a gain there, Pat.
No.
Camden Stout on the tackle with the assist from Caden Jones.
He had too much time, though, but we had good coverage down the field.
There's a gain of 3 yards on the play.
Third down.
3rd and
first
7.
half sponsor here, Mod Pizza, Friends of Sayre Spartan Football. By the way, Travis Smith over there without his boot now.
Oh, he did take it on. Yeah.
I think he passed his tests for the ankle, and also we are going to have a halftime interview with Walker Hancock, president of Claiborne.
Sayre alumni, and you'll learn a little bit about Walker. He didn't get the opportunity to play here at Sayre, but he made up for it in college.
We've got 3 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Back to Frederick. Man comes around to his left, and Frederick's going to fire downfield, and wow, he throws, I mean, you could say that's a torpedo right there. I think it almost hit Georgetown.
Yeah, it's like he's showing off how far he could throw. I mean, there was nobody there. I think he threw it out of the end zone, really.
He did. An interesting decision because now it's 4th down. I'm guessing this is going to be 4-down territory for the Greyhounds. We have 5:38 with the clock stoppage now. But that's going to give Sayre plenty of time to go for it. But you're in that hard spot. You can't really punt it, but you can't. No. Oh, they moved the ball back to its original position. I was wondering.
Ball on the 23, right?
Well, it's going to be 4th down and 8. Frederick's going to fake the handoff. Now it's to Ransom in the backfield, and Ransom's going to get close, and I think he falls. No, he's going to be stopped.
Short.
Well short. That's actually
short.
Maybe 2 yards.
Yeah.
Short, and that's going to be a turnover
Note the initial
on downs.
tackle by number 13, Jackson Stewart. And the ball goes over on downs to Sayre.
That's going to be a first down for the Spartans offense, and now they can get the ball back and start to roll here as
Sayre takes possession on its 17-yard line.
Here in the first half. This is going to give Sayre a perfect time to reestablish themselves, give themselves a score going into the half.
It'd be great to use up all the clock and score with 0 seconds left.
So Pennington lines up in shotgun. 3 men to the left, 1 man comes in motion behind the play, and it's a handoff to Caden Jones, and Caden Jones is making them miss, and now he's going to split it up the 30. He's going to the right, he's at the 40, and he's going to be brought down quickly, but not before he gets a first down.
30 yards for a gain of 31 yards.
31.
First down.
Ball's placed at Sayre's 49-yard line and a first down, so they might not be able to eat up all that clock if they keep having big plays like this.
I guess we'll take it, but
First
he
and
was ran
10
right.
Sayre
I
from
mean,
its
there's a lot of
49-yard
misdirection.
line.
We had guys in motion, and it seemed like Paris didn't even know where the ball was. If he got by the last guy, he would have scored.
Sayre going left to right offensively on your radio dial. Ball's nearest to you on that dial on the right hash mark. Pennington, 3 men to his right. They're going to fake it to Jones, and now he pops it over the middle into the hands of Stout, and they're in Paris territory.
Lewis Stevens' pass is complete to number 13, Jackson Stewart.
Nice pass. Almost to first.
He gains 9 yards on the play.
Faked the handoff.
2nd and 1.
And, he was coming straight up the middle and really found the gap between the linebackers and the safeties, and he caught it. Nice game. 2nd and 1's perfect spot.
It'll be a 2nd and 1. Ball's close to that right hash mark nearest to you on your dial. 4:23 and counting. No score here in the game so far. Almost to the end of the first half. But the Sayre offense has been consistently driving the ball. See if they keep it up. 2 wide receivers to each side. And it's Slayball coming up that middle. And I think he did. He fell forward.
Yeah. Fine. That's fine. Not a big game, but got what we needed the first down. Clock running. Let the clock run.
There's a stoppage at the moment. It's going to be a timeout for Paris.
Oh,
so Paris going to take a timeout to stop some of that action and save themselves some clock. And Sayre marching the ball down the field. We'll be back in 1 minute here with Sayre Spartan football. Angelo Carriero, Josh Moore, Pat Madden here.
Should make their way to the end zone on the left-hand side of the field.
Bod Pizza is a hot new fast casual restaurant where you and your friends can enjoy your very own artisan-style wood-fired pizzas. Made on demand, individually sized, handcrafted hot out of the wood-fired oven. Cheese? Yes, please. Oregano? No, thanks. Select from 40 toppings, 8 sauces, and 8 dressings. Choose one or choose them all. Any toppings, one price. Add a custom salad, hand-spun milkshake, house-made iced tea or lemonade, or local craft beer or wine. You don't have to like the same pizza. Bod Pizza is what you make it. Visit Mod at our Hamburger Taste Creek Center locations. This week's Sayre Spotlight is brought to you by Mod Pizza. Early years of childhood are filled with wonder and exploration. Children learn best by doing, and Sayre strives to cultivate an environment where children are active participants, decision makers, collaborators, and problem solvers. Sayre's philosophy of active learning and project work is woven through all of their programs. Students are encouraged to try something new, to take a risk without fear of failure, to build new friendships, and to gain a solid foundation in the academic skills that are building blocks for success in our global world.
Sports 96.1 The Zone, turning here. 2 receivers to each side. Pennington's going to hand it to Jones in the backfield, and Jones is going to make his way forward. Like I said, Pat, those choppy feet, he is going.
Man, that was quick. It was a quick burst.
9 yards on the play.
He went straight up the middle, juked to his right, and almost got a first for 2nd and 1 again. Perfect. Clock at 3:40.
Perez and Jones head off the field. 3.5 minutes and counting here in the first half. Sayre methodical on this drive.
Every drive.
2nd and 1, 2 wide receivers to the left. Let's see, I think that's coming in motion as it's a handoff to Slayball. Slayball's going to find a way to bounce out to the side.
Did he get it? It's close.
It's
Charlie Slayball carries for 3 yards. Good for a first down.
Yeah, first down. There we go. They haven't moved the change yet, but they've announced the first down. He signaled. They signaled.
Yeah, they need to move the ball back to. I was going to say that you see the other official moving the ball back because Slayball rushed to the left.
Yep.
But you were talking about that. You said they've been methodical all night, except for the jet sweep.
Correct, yes. That's true.
We're creeping just under 3 minutes here. Pennington gets in a shotgun. 1st and 10. They're inside of the red zone. As Stewart comes in motion, they're trying to get Stewart free, but he was being just absolutely tailed on the play by, I think it was Cowan again.
He had a little yards to gain there. If he hadn't stumbled, he kind of stumbled and fell. So he ended up with a 2-yard
loss. There's a loss of 3 yards.
And whenever you got a guy like Cowan, see, Jackson is very athletic. And it's hard to say because he's not a burner. He's not the strongest player, but he has the kind of that best package. Like, you know what, sometimes you're just like naturally strong as a kid. He's kind of got that, where Murphy's kind of the burner. So as he tried to escape Cowan there, just didn't work as well as they wanted. 2 wide receivers to each side. Slayball in the backfield. They do give it to Slayball. He's going to try to cut up, and he's going to take
Charlie Slayball on the carry gains a yard. 3rd and 12.
Looks like it's going to be at the same spot as we're under 2 minutes
Big third down
here
here.
in the first half. Huge third down for the Spartans.
Nothing there for Charlie. Nothing. Can't blame him.
Now Jones and Barnston come on to the field. Coles and Stewart will exit. Pennington making his line. Coming out now, they're kind of burning the clock for Paris here, just in case.
Yep.
Here's the snap. Pennington's going to look to his right. And he's going to lock them out.
Wow. It was just outside. He dove, but it was just, I think he even got maybe his fingertips on it. It would have been a spectacular catch if he'd made it, but it was a little bit beyond his reach.
So let me ask you here, Pat, what would you do at this spot of the field? Because it looks like that they may, and they are going to try to punt it here.
Yeah, I think you try to. Field goal's out of the question. That'd be a 52-yarder. You're on the 35. What are you going to pick up? 10 yards or something? Well, that's what we're trying to do, I guess, punting.
There's Atkins, and he's going to punt. And he's going to try to angle it to the sideline, and he gets it inside the 10-yard line. That's exactly what they needed. I actually really like the punt call there, because what you can do is if we can't score, then you can't either. That's exactly what they're trying to set up for Paris here.
I really like the call now. It went out on the 5.
We always like the call. You know how it is.
It was perfect. The ball landed on about the 5, and then it didn't go forward. It went sideways, right out of bounds.
Exactly. Perfect kick by Brady Atkins, who's just been Pat at the high school level. The two hardest things to find are quarterbacks and kickers.
That's true.
The two hardest things, and they've got them both. And Brady Atkins is $5.
That's what we've always had here at Sayre. Both kickers, and because we've had Atkinses for kickers, which is going to end after this year.
Unfortunately, enjoyed them while they were. And here's Frederick going to pass over to Ransom on that far side. Ransom's going to try to make a play. He comes out to the left. He's going to gain some yards. Now he's going to stay in bounds, though, and that's the key, staying in bounds. Now the clock will stop just until the first down marker is established. But
he gets to about the 20-yard gain.
It was a good gain.
A very good gain. Nice tackle there, too, by who was that? That was Caden.
Jones, I mean, you're talking about the biggest player
on
here.
He made a nice tackle. That's one thing Chad's real particular about, teaching tackling techniques.
And Chad actually is the one that's going to stop the clock here. Didn't like what he saw.
Timeout, Sayre. That is Sayre's third and final timeout of the first half.
Yeah, they were trying to go hurry up there and catch us off guard. Chad called it.
And at halftime, we'll meet the Pioneers.
One thing that I haven't seen
we'll also meet
from Chad and his defense is, especially in this spot, I think where you don't want some of these big plays to go because of the time, they put two safeties with Luke and Caden, and usually they only roll with Luke up there, especially when Brock is able to play again. Brock Hoffman out with a concussion for this game after taking just a dirty hit versus Hazard. We saw it on video from last week, and I mean, it's just blatant.
Scared the kid, trailing the play by about 5 or 10 yards. The play was over.
Absolute shame. But Coach Pennington just kind of circling the subtle. When it's on defense, he lets his coordinators take a hold of it there.
And he controls the offense. Let's make no mistake about it.
And the team. When the team needs a message, he's there for it.
But the defense, he does let his defensive guys call it. He tried calling in the Pikeville game the first year we played him in the playoffs. Our defensive coordinator got COVID and couldn't do it, so Chad had to call both. He said it was too much.
I can totally see it. If anybody could do it, would be him with that NFL brain, but totally understand. So now you see Caden's gone into the slot, and Frederick's going to run it that's Ransom out into a wildcat as he runs it to the left side. He's not going to get...
Not much. I mean,
I don't even truly understand that.
Yeah, clock running 34 seconds.
They had a timeout, but he stayed in bounds, too, is the confused thing. I mean, we're under 30 seconds.
28 seconds. I don't know what.
And they're not on their side of the field. They're deep into Sayre territory. Ball's at about the 30.
Now there's
of their own territory. And it seems like now Paris will take a timeout. That's such an odd string of play call. Maybe they were just hoping one play was going to just break, but that's a risk. That's a large risk.
I don't understand why you waited basically they let about 15.
Another great point.
Roll off the clock before calling the timeout. Now there's 21 seconds. They could have had 36 seconds.
Yep, just some odd decisions being made here on Paris, and we've seen that before. I think when Williamsburg came in, they had a string of really questionable play call. They had a situation where they're very similar to Paris. They had 3 timeouts, and they just didn't take it and let it run to the half.
I'm always shocked. I remember the year we went undefeated. We were beaten. All the other teams had to do was run the clock out, and they ran the ball out of bounds, and then they threw a pass, which was incomplete, and we got the ball back. I mean,
this doesn't make sense, does it?
Doesn't make sense sometimes.
And that's the one thing I can say about Sayre. Now, like I said, obviously the Harlan game is always the one that people go to. But I'll tell you what, second half adjustments and timeouts have not been an issue for this team and this coaching staff so far during the year. 21 seconds left. Now neither team has a timeout. Frederick's going to do a little option. I think Ransom wants to throw it, and he's just going to pop it up.
Got a man.
He's got a man. He's crushed at the 46-yard line. He might have gone out of bounds. I mean, I don't know what you... Again, that's a long developing play. They only have 11 seconds now.
Yeah, they got the ball on the 48, on their own 48-yard line. The stop clocks, I guess they went out of bounds. Yeah, so... Probably got maybe 2 plays left at the most.
No, the clock's running. 3 seconds.
Oh, they stopped it for the first down. He didn't go out of bounds.
Nope, and that will be the end of the first half.
And
your score here, no score so far. Scoreless first half for the second week in a row in Sayre, but what they've been able to do is ball control, good defense. We're going to come back here at halftime. We're going to have a little first half preview. Josh Moore's going to come up from the sideline. We're going to also have a second half preview, but also, of course,
Walker Hancock's in the house.
We got a big interview coming up. And Pat, we're going to get right to that right around the bend here. Angelo Carriero, Josh Moore, Pat Madden here on color commentary here. Sayre Spartan Football Sports, 96.1 The Zone.
Send your kids back to school with the perfect snack in a backpack. Mingy Beef Jerky. It's all natural, no preservatives, no nitrates, cut from a solid piece of beef. And it comes in a wide variety of flavors. Original, Cajun, garlic and onion, sweet and hot, barbecue. A great snack for the kids. And mom and dad, too. And Mingy Beef Jerky is a big supporter of high school sports in Kentucky. Mingy Beef Jerky and MingyBeefJerky.com. Check them out on Facebook and at Mingy Beef Jerky on Twitter.
Bud's Gun Shop and Range, Kentucky's largest firearms retailer, has a huge selection of Ruger and other firearms to rent, so you can try before you buy. Our knowledgeable staff will help you find the perfect, rugged, reliable firearm from Ruger, like Precision, Mark IV, and American. We also have beginning firearms classes, corporate team building events, and free seminars. Bud's Gun Shop, Industry Road behind Eastland Shopping Center in Lexington, and inside Uncle Lee's in Greenville, Kentucky.
Winter Circle Trailer Sales and Service is proud to sponsor Sayre football.
Carrying high-quality brands like 4-Star, Corn Pro, Wells Cargo, and Adam Trailers.
Winter Circle Trailers is in the heart of horse country, committed to serving customers nationwide with new and used horse trailers, and their #1 priority is customer satisfaction.
Call our team for your next trailer. We offer financing and accept trade-ins.
Winter Circle Trailer Sales and Service, 3 miles from the Kentucky Horse Park, off I-75, close to I-64.
Mod Pizza is the hot new fast casual restaurant where you and your friends can enjoy your very own artisan-style wood-fired pizzas made on demand. Individually sized, handcrafted, hot out of the wood-fired oven. Cheese, yes please. Oregano, no thanks. Select from 40 toppings, 8 sauces, and 8 dressings. Choose one or choose them all. Any toppings, one price. Add a custom salad, hand-spun milkshake, house-made iced tea or lemonade, or local craft beer or wine. You don't have to like the same pizza. Mod Pizza is what you make it. Visit Mod at our Hamburg or Tate's Creek Center location.
Of middle school student athletes from
DVA Kitchen serves life-changing breakfast and lunch daily. Try the DV Ocho plate, orange marmalade chicken on a warm biscuit, General So tacos, chicken salad, or the best burger in town. Our croissants, cookies, famous cinnamon rolls, and sourdough bread is made fresh daily. Dine in at one of our restaurants on either South Broadway or Midland at 3rd. Order to go, order online, or have us cater your next event. Check us out at dvakitchen.com.
For the Pioneer football team.
Blue Card walks over the use the highest highest quality dental treatments and technologies to help their patients achieve the best possible oral health results. They keep your dental goals and needs at the forefront of everything they do. At Buchart & Walks Orthodontics, they take the time to explain your dental treatment in their comfortable environment with the belief that any treatment should be tailored to your needs and goals. 2 convenient locations in Lexington, downtown on East Main and on Perimeter Drive, as well as Frankfort on King's Daughter Drive. Buchart & Walks Orthodontics, dedicated to excellence, dedicated to your smile. This broadcast is brought to you in part by the Friends of Sayre football program.
Angelo Carriero back here with Sayre Spartan football on Sports 96.1 The Zone. I'm still here with Pat Madden. And Pat, we have a cool little interview coming up.
We do. We have in the house Walker Hancock, president of Claiborne Farm, from Paris, Kentucky, in Paris, Kentucky. Walker was a 2008 graduate of Sayre School, and there was some talk, he'll get into it a little bit, about football, but the logistics weren't in place, I think, at the time.
Yeah, that's right.
In 2018,
something that we love. We
made
wish
the
that we could have
commitment to
played.
bring back varsity
I would have loved to
football
have been out here
for
on
the
a
first
night like
time
tonight.
since
But
1977.
anyway, I'm glad that
These
See the
former
Spartans
Spartans
finally
who
came to
graduated
fruition.
from
Now,
Sayre
you
School
had T-shirts
between
made, though, right? What did they say back
and
then?
Yeah,
2021,
everyone had the T-shirts that
paved the way
said
for
Sayre
the
football
program
undefeated since
through hard work,
1984, which was the last year that they played
accountability,
varsity
and
football.
resiliency. The
It
Sayre
was,
football
everyone
program
seemed to wear
will be
those on
forever
Fridays.
grateful
Well,
for their courage
this
in
summer, or I think it was
reestablishing
last summer,
Sayre
actually, I got on a
football.
plane and Walker
Give a
was there,
round
and the
of
first thing he
applause
said to
for
me
these
was,
modern-day
man, Sayre's got
pioneers
football. When I was
of
there, I wish we
Sayre
had it. My
football.
son got to play, and I said, yeah, it was just the greatest experience. And so Walker was denied the experience to play high school. You even said to me, you knew you weren't going to play in college, right? But you just wanted to.
Yeah, I just would have loved to have the experience.
Right,
It
right.
was so fun to be out there with your classmates and teammates and playing a game that y'all love.
That's what it's about. So then when you got to college, though, what happened? What did you do?
So I went to the University of Florida in 2008, and I was became. We obviously had a lot of success that year. SEC championship, beat Alabama, and then we won the national championship. Miami beat Oklahoma.
And we appreciate
Wow. Then you did it again the next year, right?
Well, we lost the SEC championship to Alabama the second year, my sophomore year. We did beat Cincinnati in the Sugar Bowl.
But then you became just a normal student.
And then I was like, oh, this has been a lot of fun, but the team, a lot of people are graduating. I decided to be a regular student after that.
And then people forget Cam Newton was there, right? When you
Oh, yeah, we had. I mean, I think there was 30-something draft picks or something on that 08 team.
And you think you even told me you picked up Aaron Hernandez, right?
Oh, yeah, I gave him a ride home from the airport one time.
Yeah, and then but something happened with Cam with the sprinkler.
Oh, yeah. He lived across the hall from me freshman year, and it was like the first or second week of school, and he decided he hung his clothes on the sprinkler system, and it then flooded the entire dorm room floor from the fourth floor down, and then our whole entire dorm smelled like old carpet the rest of the year because it's from the mildew that he flooded it.
But did Cam, was he there the second year?
No,
or
he left. He
right
left in the middle of basically. Yeah, in the middle of the year.
And Tebow was it?
Tim was there. He was our quarterback for both seasons. I was a manager.
Okay, and then that was his last year after the.
Yeah, he got drafted by the Broncos. Sophomore year. So there was going to be a lot of changes, which is why I also kind of decided I would be a regular student because I knew I was going to come back to the farm in Paris. I wanted to enjoy 2 years, not have to really have responsibility.
And they have a program there where you study farm management or what was it?
Equine science.
Equine science, right? Yeah,
farm management.
Yeah, and that's like the only university in the country that has that, right?
There's very few, but Florida's definitely program is very advanced because of the locality being so close.
Right. And then when you were at Sayre, this complex that we're so fortunate to have out here for Sayre was its first year, I think you told me? Or?
Yeah, I think we played baseball my junior year at the baseball field, and that was the only thing out here. And then I think senior year, they played soccer out here, and they might have had softball or something like that. But my junior year, I think, is when the field opened, and it was the only sport out here.
Did you ever tell your dad, man, can you help us out with football? Or
there was momentum, and it seemed like it slowly built as I went through high school. But we didn't have the facilities, we didn't have this place, obviously. It was very disorganized, but I'm glad to see that they finally got it all put together and came to fruition, and they have what they have now.
Yeah. Well, you're doing a great job at Claiborne, and how What's Breeders' Cup interest do you have?
We raised Annapolis in the Breeders' Cup Turf Mile for a client, Ramona Bass, Perry Bass, and we got a couple of offspring by stallions, but Annapolis would be the closest to home because we raised them.
Okay. Are you giving that as a tip here? Or?
I'll tip them, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I had them at 8-1 the other day when he went to Keeneland, so that was good.
Okay, all right. Well, listen, really appreciate you doing this. It's great to hear the old stories about how you had the T-shirts. Maybe we ought to bring those back.
I know. I was trying to find mine earlier today, but it's long gone, I'm afraid. But maybe it's in my parents' house somewhere. But I really wanted to wear it tonight.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks, Walker. Really appreciate you.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
Thank you very much,
All right.
Walker. Pat Madden, Angelo Carriero, and Josh Moore will be back with the first half review and a little bit of a second half preview.
Okay.
Right here, Sayre Spartan Football Sports 96.1 Zone.
Winter Circle Trailer Sales and Service is proud to sponsor Sayre football.
Carrying high-quality brands like 4-Star, Corn Pro, Wells Cargo, and Adam Trailers.
Winter Circle Trailers is in the heart of horse country, committed to serving customers nationwide with new and used horse trailers, and their #1 priority is customer satisfaction.
Call our team for your next trailer. We offer financing and accept trade-ins.
Winter Circle Trailer Sales and Service, 3 miles from the Kentucky Horse Park, off I-75, close to I-64.
Odd Pizza is the hot, fast, casual restaurant where you can enjoy artisan-style wood-fired pizza made on demand. Individually sized, handcrafted, hot out of the wood-fired oven. Cheese, yes please. Oregano.
Shopping Range, Kentucky's largest firearms retailer, has a huge selection of Ruger and other firearms to rent, so you can try before you buy. Our knowledgeable staff will help you find the perfect, rugged, reliable firearm from Ruger, like Precision, Mark IV, and American. We also have beginning firearms classes, corporate team building events, and free seminars. Bud's Gun Shop, Industry Road behind Eastland Shopping Center in Lexington, and inside Uncle Lee's in Greenville, Kentucky.
DV8 Kitchen serves life-changing breakfast and lunch daily. Try the DV Ocho plate, orange marmalade chicken on a warm biscuit, General So tacos, chicken salad, or the best burger in town. Our croissants, cookies, famous cinnamon rolls, and sourdough bread is made fresh daily. Dine in at one of our restaurants on either South Broadway or Midland at 3rd. Order to go, order online, or have us cater your next event. Check us out at dv8kitchen.com.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by the Friends of Sayre football program.
Back here, Sports 96.1 The Zone, Sayre Spartan Football, Angelo Carriero, Pat Madden, and Josh Moore here with halftime coverage. We're going to do a little first half review. Not much to review, guys. No score at the half. And, Pat, first off, we were talking, and you have the same opinion as I do from the press box views. It really seemed like Sayre had control of almost the entirety of the game.
We had control of the game. You never felt like Paris threatened at all. It felt like we had them on their heels the whole time. It's just that we didn't get them. Couldn't get the ball over. We missed the field goal. Interception basically at the 1 yard line. And we just never could get the ball. So if you're Paris, I think you go in the locker room, you're like, hey, we're lucky to be tied at 0-0.
Yeah, I agree. I think it boils down to it's been a game of bad breaks, especially for Sayre. You miss a field goal, you have an interception, like Pat mentioned, in the end zone, basically, and then you flip it. It's a bad break for Paris because on that same play, the kid comes out of the end zone for some reason and gets tackled. It's been a game where neither team, you've each had one really good sustained drive to get into scoring position and just not been able to capitalize.
Yeah, I thought Sayre had more than one. I thought they had at least 2, maybe even 3 before they got backed out to space. You also talked about the other bad breaks for both teams. Since we didn't have any scoring, the bigger plays of the game. The first play of the possession Paris had, they fumbled it. We thought it was.
Could you see that? Did you have an angle on that?
I was kind of on an angle on the field, but it looked. I think if you'd been called, it's one of those deals where if it had been called a safety, I think it would have been a good call. If it was kind of a good call because it wasn't called a safety. But they were right, behind the one when they set up. So if it wasn't a safety, it was by 2 inches.
Yeah, it looked like a safety from up here, and everybody in the stands, of course, there's all the Sayre fans were giving the safety signal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tell you, we did catch a break when the guy dropped the interception. that was going to go. That looked like that was going to go for a pick six if he pulled it down.
But then, a break there, around midfield, that kid juggled that ball. Could have easily been a fumble, and Sayre picks it up. There, you get a stupid score, and it's a 7-0 game going into halftime. Instead, he runs. He ends up running for 28 yards. No, I'm talking about. He literally juggled the ball. Like I was right in front of it, and he was. I don't know how. It was just a great play by the kid because he should have dropped that ball, and it should have. There were 3 Spartans there that could have landed on top of it.
Oh yeah.
You called it a fumble. You called it a fumble. Actually, you jumped, but
because he made the motion, it looked like a fumble.
It looked like it hit him and it hit the ground and popped back up.
But it never hit the ground.
Yeah, like kind of like hit it. He literally bounced up off.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay,
so he was doing the old, the kicking it up.
Yeah, he was playing hacky sack out there with himself.
Old NFL video, like we see where it's like the old grainy, it's like black and white, and they're kicking it all down the field, going for it. Just kind of one of those, nothing would be that far-fetched when it comes to a no-score game. But like you all said, I think the one thing about this game is there's been a lot of action. It's just not been with a scoring result.
Yeah, for a 0-0 game, you can't say it hasn't had a lot of stuff happening in it. There's a lot of highlights. I've tweeted out a lot of stuff. There's been some cool games. The Charlie Slayball early on coming out of the locker room to start the game looked really strong there. And then Caden Jones towards the end of the second. So they had a good 1-2 punch going there. I think if they can just kind of, I think you just need one good lead.
Where can they find you? Because you say we are hitting it from all platforms. We've got Sayre Spartan Football on YouTube, where it has a Pat and I stream of the game so far. We are on Sports 96.1 The Zone FM. We are on the Sports 96.1 The Zone, the app, and
Josh Moore at Josh Moore on HL on Twitter. Yeah, we've brought the full money tonight.
We do. We have got this game covered from all stadiums. But Pat and Josh, before we break out and get ready for the second half, I want your all's opinions on who's impressed you so far this half, or in the first half, and what are the keys to the game for Sayre? Do you want to compare as you can? What's the key to the game?
Well, Charlie Slayball's definitely been the guy that's impressed the most. He's been an absolute workhorse. I think the key to the game is that we're able to get some of these passes down the field. Our running game's been pretty good. And seems like we've just barely missed on these passes down the field. I mean, like just a matter of inches, and a couple inches this way, a couple inches that way, we're up 14-0. I think that's the key. Is getting the pass down the field for sure.
One of the things that Pat's mentioning is not only the interception, but it was the ball where he had beat his guy, and it was just underthrown where it became that.
He had to come back and made it a 50-50 ball.
Yeah, and Slayball had a pass like that, after that, I thought Luke threw a dime and it just barely he's just a little slow.
Over here?
Yeah. But Slayball really been the player of the half, and I think I think it's really, you were talking off Mike, I think it's going to come down to you need probably a defensive score or at least a really good turnover that sets you up in a good field position. I think that goes for either team. I think whoever can capitalize on a turnover and get good field position and put the ball in the end zone is going to win this game.
Well, my player since you all both chose Charlie Slayball, I think he's absolutely been the player so far for Sayre. I've been really impressed with Jakari Ransom just because of his size, like that pure size and physicality. But what's been more impressive than Ransom has been Sayre's defensive handling of Ransom, of Bell, of those. Does he look as big and as...
Yeah, he's a pretty stout kid. Yeah. Bell's really fast, and I think they have done a good job walking both of those guys up.
That's my key, is that bending... There's a reason why there's a saying, bend but don't break when it comes to defense, because defenses can break. And with these two guys, one score might win this game. Maybe 10 points is going to get you the victory. Sayre's defense is just going to have to continue to make those stops, which means the key is that the offense, like you all said, they have to
just get something up on this board.
The big edge we have is the kicker right now. Yep. Apparently, Paris, I don't even know.
They have
non-existent. Right?
I'll put it. Here's some sideline stuff for you.
Yeah,
that punt that Brady had that pinned him, there at the 3 at the end of the half. One of their defenders who was running back would run the back of the ball. He was coming off the field. Man, they got a good punter.
See, Josh, I tell you you what, that is a great sideline. See, there are some things we can rely on Josh for every now and then. You've been fantastic online. Got to retweet all your videos. Thank you for that information. And I think we'll probably talk to you for just a minute after the game is over, unless you want to stay down there and do some post-game video or talking. We'll either see you then or I'll see you in the car going to Bethlehem next week. So.
Absolutely. Can't wait for it.
Thank you, Josh. Pat, Angelo, you're going to be back here in just, let's see the clock. It's going to be 1 minute. We're going to be back in 1 minute here at Sayre Spartan Football Sports 96 Zone.
Winter Circle Trailer Sales and Service is proud to sponsor Sayre football.
Carrying high-quality brands like 4-Star, Corn Pro, Wells Cargo, and Adam Trailers.
Winter Circle Trailers is in the heart of horse country, committed to serving customers nationwide with new and used horse trailers, and their #1 priority is customer satisfaction.
Call our team for your next trailer. We offer financing and accept trade-ins.
Winter Circle Trailer Sales and Service, 3 miles from the Kentucky Horse Park, off I-75, close to I-64.
Bod Pizza is the hot new fast casual restaurant where you and your friends can enjoy your very own artisan-style wood-fired pizzas. Made on demand, individually sized, handcrafted hot out of a wood-fired oven. Cheese, yes please. Oregano, no thanks. Select from 40 toppings, 8 sauces, and 8 dressings. Choose one or choose them all. Any toppings, one price. Add a custom salad, hand-spun milkshake, house-made iced tea or lemonade, or a local craft beer or wine. You don't have to like the same pizza. Bod Pizza is what you make it. Visit Mod at our Hamburger Tates Creek Center location. This broadcast is brought to you in part by the Friends of Sayre football program.
Angelo Carriero back here on Sports 96.1 The Zone. Sayre Spartan football. Pat Madden here on color commentary. You can go to @JoshMooreHL. That's Josh Moore HL, former beat writer for high school sports for the Herald Leader and former Kentucky football beat writer. And as soon as I say Kentucky football, Pat, you hear Grove Street. That's reminding you of all those great moments at Kroger Field as we're getting ready for this kickoff here. And, we just got done talking about it. The offensive struggles for Sayre have just been in the deep pass. It's just been in that. And that's the only times. Everything else has been very methodical out of this team.
Yeah, everything else is clicking. We moved the ball between the 20s, fine. Very methodical, both pass, run short passes, runs up the middle, sweeps. Everything's working. But if we can just complete a couple of long passes, I think we'll put this team away. And I think a big edge here, given this close game like this, is our kicking game. I don't think Paris's kicking game is basically non-existent. We've got one of the best kickers in the state.
Absolutely, Brady Atkins, former player of the game. Pat and I will decide on our player of the game as the ball is taken here at the 10-yard line, being returned to the left. The Greyhound goes to the side and is trying to cut it up the field, but is taken down at the 35-yard line.
Pretty nice return.
One of the many players we don't have on the roster sheet there, so it couldn't even give credit where credit was due, because there was no number 4 on their roster. And we've got the rosters done, but we're going to see what the halftime adjustments have been for Paris. But Pat, I've got to tell you, this Sayre Spartan football team led by head coach Chad Pennington has had amazing second half adjustments. They always perform better in the second half than the first, and they performed pretty well in the first half.
Would expect nothing less from the Chad Pennington team.
Former runner-up for NFL MVP in 2008. 2 wide receivers to the right, back in the backfield. They've got a man in motion. It looks like that's Bell. Bell's going to take it to that right side, and he is going to try to use that speed, but those Sayre Spartans just a little quicker to their spot.
Pickup of about 5 on the play. Not
Paris
a bad run on their part.
Gain.
He got the ball, looked like he might get tackled for a loss, basically sprinted away from the defender, and then got gang tackled after about 5 yards.
Also, Calvin Perez.
Be a 2nd and 5. Paris going left to right on your radio dial. For our radio audience, the ball is at the nearest hash mark to you. 2 wide receivers, now 3 to the left, 2 to the right, empty backfield. There's in their black helmets, gray uniforms. And it's a fake. It's going to be a run to the right, and he's going to get to the sideline and get a first down. It looks like he may have stayed in.
Pick up, about a 20-yard pickup on the play.
Kendrick tried to come back, and you
you
get an extra hit on him without it being illegal that way. But the kid, it seems like he really wanted to run tonight and finally got his chance.
That was a design quarterback draw. Put the ball into the running back. A lot of the Spartans went for the fake, pulled it back, had pretty much clear sailing for about 10 or 15 yards before he made any resistance.
And we haven't mentioned it, but it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and Paris rocked out all in the pink socks and sleeves.
Oh!
Credit to him, and that was almost intercepted on the dive by Jackson Stewart, showing off that athleticism as the swing pass was over to Bell, and he kind of just jumped it, but just couldn't grab on.
Couldn't hold on to it. Again, a matter of inches is what football is about. Looked like he had it, really. Then the ball squirted forward.
It's a shame because he made such a fantastic play.
Effort to get there, right. He had to dive for the ball.
Yeah, that is the one.
It wasn't right into his hands or anything. He was diving for the ball, it hit him, and just probably had too much momentum going forward to hold on.
3 wide receivers to the left, 2 to the right, and it's going to be a swing pass to the left, trying to get, it looks like the unnamed Greyhound out in space. Yeah, number 4.
Number 4.
But he threw it, man, probably a full yard and a half ahead of him.
It wasn't a good pass, and actually it looked like he had some room to run if the pass had been on target.
But that right there, we said this has been a game of breaks, and it seems like that's legitimately all it's been on either side now. It's 3rd and 10.
Yeah, picked up nothing on 2 plays.
And they're going to need a stop here. The ball is in Sayre Spartan territory at the 45-yard line. Under center, Kendrick is. He's going to have a man come in motion. He's going to fake it. Now they're going to run the same play they had earlier.
Nice catch. Very nice catch. It was a high pass. He had to leap up and caught it.
Pass is complete and good for a first down.
First down, barely.
Pat, you said this earlier. It was the same play where you said that Kendrick had rushed it and he threw it over Bell's head. They run the same play. It takes just a second longer. Gets it out there.
He still threw it high.
Yes,
it wasn't like it was an easy catch. The guy had to leap, which he did, and he caught it at his apex. Came down with the ball. He was right on the sideline, though, and picked up about 12 yards.
They needed 10. Looks like it got about 11. And so it'll be 10:44 counting. No score in the game, but Harris trying to get this going as they hand off to Bell on the left side, and he finds a little room, tries to juke his way up the field, but really good tackling on Bell tonight by Sayre.
But again, a pickup of about, 7 yards, maybe 6. This is the first really sustained drive. I feel like St. Paris has some momentum on it.
6 yards.
This is the first time tonight that it has felt that way. Now we haven't gotten to see offensively, but this first time we're seeing this. 2 fullbacks in the backfield and then a tailback up high, and they are going to hand it to Ransom, and Ransom is going to get a good gain that's going to get him into the red zone.
Primary tackler is number 62, Nick
Willis.
Willis.
About a 10-yard gain.
The carry is good for a Paris first down.
First down. Now they're really threatening. They're just on the edge of the red zone, I believe.
I think that the ball is at the 15-yard line.
15-yard line. Okay, that's not the. Yeah, that's the 15.
I'll tell you what. Those right there is
First
the hardest part of this field. The angle is in between the 10 and the 20. I've experienced it many a time up here in the booth. Now they're going to a different look. They're kind of abandoning the pass game, going pure inside, trying to get some misdirection as it goes to Bell on that left side. But that front line of Sayre sniffs it out.
I'm surprised they're employing this tactic.
On the tackle for Sayre, number 5, Charlie Scott, also number 1, Charlie Slayball.
This formation is set up to run up the middle.
No gain on the play.
And it's worked for a couple plays, but it seems like on that play we definitely, no gain.
It has deviated from what was working for them prior on the drive, and on top of that, sometimes when you scout something out so well, you kind of have to do the opposite. Try to shake things up.
Yeah.
But they've obviously practiced it with some of those fakes. Now they have 2 wide receivers, 1 to each side. Ransom's going to try to protect the ball and go up the left side. So being much more conservative here now that they're in the red zone.
And not much of a gain. Maybe 3 yards, setting up a 3rd and 7.
There's a 3-yard gain on the play. 3rd and 7.
Yep, the ball's going to sit at about the 13-yard line.
I don't think they have a kicker that can kick it from here either, right?
No, they have not attempted a field goal this season. They have had extra points.
But they've not
kicked, but no field goal.
So this is probably 2-down territory.
I would assume so. Just seeing on this play, let's see where it goes. Is Kendrick, he hands it off into the bend. No, they flip it to Bell on the reverse side. And no one.
That was a nice play. The whole Sayre team went for the fake.
There's not one player that followed Bell to the end zone. It was that wide open.
He walked in. I guess they were setting us up with those runs up the middle all the way down. That's what it looks like now.
And I got to say, on that play, it's not often, because I have to follow the ball as play-by-play, it's not often that I get tricked up. But I will say that time,
the quarterback,
I was almost up the middle following the play until I saw Bell streaking over the left side.
The quarterback put it in there.
Yep, just put it right in there. I was like, oh, man, because Bell had some momentum going. As the extra point's up, and it's blocked by the Spartans. And that right there could be the difference in the football game, Pat.
Easily. I think that the touchdown play, you got to give the quarterback a lot of credit on that play. The way he deceived not only all the Sayre players, like you said, he tried to follow the ball. It was very difficult. And the running back put his head down just like he was going right up the middle. It was really a well-designed and implemented play by Paris.
The Spartan Booster Club.
It was 6 Paris, Sayre 0. We want to thank our first half sponsor, Mod Pizza, and of course, coming back our second half sponsor, Mod Pizza. We'll stay right here. We're ready for kickoff. Quick turnaround there. But this is nothing to worry about, because especially with the block extra point there, you got an entire half of football, and like I said, Coach Pennington does a fantastic job, especially offensively coming out of
Yeah, we haven't gotten the ball yet, so here we go. Up short on the kickoff. Tony's standing at the 30.
Travis Smith is dressed, ready to go. It is kicked, and it's going to land kind of in a no man's land. And with this field, it dies. Oh, no. He touches it, and that would have been a fumble. No, did Caden not get it?
I thought he had it.
Oh, it's Paris football.
Wow. Oh, my gosh. He did kick it away from Caden. Somehow it didn't go out of bounds. It laid there. Caden ran over to it, tried to pick it up initially. It went forward, then finally decided to fall on it. At that point, the Paris players were all around him. And you and I thought the same thing. I thought he had it.
I thought he had it.
But it seemed like when the players landed on him, then it squirted out again.
And you talked about it before the game with the condition of the field, where it's gotten so cold the last couple of nights. It is kind of frozen. The grass is dried, and it's making this field a lot less bouncy. These balls are dying.
They're dying. I mean, that's what happened to
the punt.
Breezy's, our punt, too.
So now they line up, everybody in close on this. And the handoff's the left side to Ransom, and Ransom is going to get the first down. He's going to get right to it. That was a situation where I don't think the back half expected it. You had a lot of players playing off the line of scrimmage, and they had everybody in between the tackles.
Yeah, a gain of 8, so he was a little short at 2 yards. It's hard from our angle to see this, like you said, down at this end of the field.
So it'll be a 2nd and about 2. Ball's at the 6-yard line.
Can get a first down on the 4.
Now going back, they have 2 tight ends, 2 fullbacks, a back deep in the backfield. They're going to give it to the up back.
Got the first.
From that left fullback, he got the first.
Paris carry is good for a first down.
I mean, it's going to be hard to imagine they won't score here without some divinity or luck.
Yeah, first down, first and goal from the 2, right? Is that where they got it? Wow, the momentum has certainly shifted. You can feel it, too. Like I said, that first drive was really the first time I ever felt like they threatened.
Yes.
Right? The whole game.
I mean, absolutely. That was the first time it was the first time that they looked like they were successfully executing what they were going out to do. Like, it felt like they were confident. They were doing what they were supposed to, and now the momentum is absolutely swung. Kendrick wants a man to come in motion, and now he's going to run the quarterback sneak. He's right up the middle for 6.
Yeah, the quarterback sneak is good for the Paris touchdown.
Boy, this game has sure changed.
Not what we were hoping to see.
No.
And it has gone quiet, and this is something 12-0 now.
Looks like they're going to go for 2, right?
I think to make up for the blocked extra point, they will.
They're still deciding, it looks like. Yeah, I think they are.
2 men coming off the field. Yeah, they might end up burning a timeout here.
Yeah, well,
which could, I mean, on an extra point, I get how important it is for them, but anything to kind of chop down
It seemed like they were kind of slow starting the play clock. There's still 17
Yeah,
seconds.
they're still, I was going to say.
Yeah, they're going for 2 for sure.
Now we've got Kendrick out in shotgun to his right. Man, now Kendrick's going to throw it out to where they faked it, but he threw it too low and he dropped it. You're right, he was wide open.
That was another walk-in.
That was?
That was just, there was no need to even throw it. He should have just, like, shovel underpass it.
Right. Could you basketball shoot it or something? It's just however to get it over there.
There was absolutely not a single Spartan within the whole time. All the Spartans were on the other side of the field.
That was unbelievable to see him get that wide open. You can't abandon someone after a fake because of that option. But here's the thing. That again, that drop that Kendrick, but I think what's discouraging to me right now is the fact that that's twice in 7 offensive plays that they've been able to completely deceive the Sayre Spartan defense.
That's true. That is an excellent point. They didn't implement that time at least, but they have deceived us twice. So,
one was a backbreaker, and that because those 2 deceptions would have costed Sayre 8 points total. Just 2 plays on fakes would have cost them 8 points. But here's the kickoff. Let's see if it can be fielded cleanly. It is by Jackson Stewart. He's going to run on the right side, trying to go for the middle, but he's met by a pair. Oh, he gets past a Greyhound, but he's going to be taken down.
Jackson
The
Stewart
24-yard line. I'll tell you what, Pat. Sayre's going to need to respond in an emphatic way to kind of pull back some. You can feel it in the air.
we need the momentum back. We need a drive here. We need some points. On that kickoff, you were exactly right. I thought he was going to get hit pretty quick, but he did get by the first defender, and not that he broke it far, but it went from us being pinned back to us being a decent field position on the 24-yard.
So it'll be 1st and 10. Ball at the 24-yard line. Stewart comes in motion behind. They give it to Sayre.
There he goes.
As he gets down about the 44-yard line, but right there you can feel the momentum come back and saying that we never left. This offense, we never went anywhere. We were the ones in command for the first half.
30-yard pickup. Right up the gut, right up the middle, like Chad told me we were going to do.
And that play right there, you can feel the crowd come back alive. They weren't dead, but it was kind of night of the undead for a second here. 6:20 and counting in the third quarter, 12-0. Paris has jumped up. Slayball puts the ball in Paris territory. Pennington's going to take the snap. He's going to hand it off to Caden Jones to the right side. Jones is going to find some rooms. He's going to gain about 5 yards.
So here we are.
For 4 yards.
Well, we've run 2 halves this third period, right? 6 minutes, we've run 2 plays.
Again, just for those just tuning in, Angelo Carriero, play-by-play, Josh Moore on the sidelines, and Pat Madden up here on color commentary. The Paris team took the ball to begin the second half, drove the field confidently for a touchdown, extra point blocked, coming out of the kickoff. Caden Jones fumbled, and it was recovered by Paris. So that's why Sayre's just now getting the touch. Pennington takes it, and he's going to hand it off to Jones, and this time they're ready.
Not much there, maybe a yard.
Yeah, they're going to set it up for about a
Caden Jones
third and
carries for a
long
gain of 1 yard on the play.
You know, that
Third
kickoff,
and
I
5.
almost think they planned that. I mean, we had a single setback, and they kicked it as far away from him as you could, and the ball, like, instead of
without it going out of bounds.
Without it going out of bounds. So here we were saying we had the better kicking game. I mean, that was a heck of a kick.
I agree with you 100% that the strategy was to kind of strand him there to get the.
Yeah.
Definitely didn't expect the fumble.
Yeah.
Stewart goes in motion behind Pennington, and they're going to hand it off to Slayball. And Slayball's going to find a way to get the first down, as he always does.
Very nice. Very nice. Pick up
Tyler
about.
Slayball carries for a gain of 9 yards.
Yeah, 9. I was going to say 10 yards. Yeah, he got way more than enough.
Coles and Jones come on the field. Murphy.
Ball on 31 now, getting close to the red zone.
Perez come off, but yes.
Here's where we're talking about if we could get that 20-yard pass that we've been unable to really implement.
With all the handoffs, and that's all it's been is run, run, run. It would be nice with this trip option set to get Slayball underneath and get Murphy down the field. Let's see, Pennington's going to go. He's going to hit Slayball on the underneath on the little post route, or excuse me, a little sauce route.
Yeah, really ran down the field about 10 yards and then stopped. Turned the ball was right there. Very nice pass, very nice route.
Charlie's reliable when it comes to that. 4:05 and counting here in the third quarter. 12-0. Paris leads, but Sayre is knocking on the door of the red zone.
We are in the red zone, right? We're in the 17.
Oh, it's the 17. See, I thought it was the 22.
It's hard to see.
These angles get me every single time. So they have knocked, and they have opened the door and taken a step foot in. It's two receivers to the left, one to the right, two to the right. Jones is in the backfield. Pennington takes snap. He fakes it to Jones. Look at him. He's got a man. He pops it up.
Yes.
It's
There it is. That's exactly what I was talking about. This play up all along, just like Paris set us up. And Luke was smart. He didn't try to dart the ball to him. He had him wide open, so he just lofted it to him. It was almost like he might have dropped it because he waited so long for it to come down.
It's like a dad playing catch with his son, just kind of popping it up there when he's young, just so it'll fall into his glove. And that's what happened there. Is Atkins is on for the extra point. It's up. It's good.
Easy.
And the kick is good.
So Sayre is there to score. 12-7 Paris leads, but like I said, these second half adjustments, Coach Chad Pennington, his offense comes right back, scores a touchdown. We're going to take 1 minute to the side. Josh Moore on sidelines, Angelo Carriero, Pat Madden on color here on Sayre Spartan Football Sports 96.1 The Zone.
DV8 Kitchen serves life-changing breakfast and lunch daily. Try the DV Ocho plate, orange marmalade chicken on a warm biscuit, General So tacos, chicken salad, or the best burger in town. Our croissants, cookies, famous cinnamon rolls, and sourdough bread is made fresh daily. Dine in at one of our restaurants on either South Broadway or Midland at 3rd. Order to go, order online, or have us cater your next event. Check us out at dv8kitchen.com.
Buchart & Walks Orthodontics use the highest quality dental treatments and technologies to help their patients achieve the best possible oral health results. They keep your dental goals and needs at the forefront of everything they do. At Buchart & Walks Orthodontics, they take the time to explain your dental treatment in their comfortable environment with the belief that any treatment should be tailored to your needs and goals. 2 convenient locations in Lexington, downtown on East Main and on Perimeter Drive, as well as Frankfort on King's Daughter Drive. Buchart & Walks Orthodontics, dedicated to excellence, dedicated to your smile.
Back on the return here to the right side is there's a potential for a fumble here. The ball's at the 31-yard line off of the kickoff.
Yeah, the Spartans crowd was yelling for a fumble because they kind of had the guy stood up, and he looked like he was holding the ball like a loaf of bread. So everybody wanted them to strip him. It was just set up for a strip, but it didn't happen.
I thought they had a chance. It's just strong ball carrying at that point, but definitely had the opportunity there.
Ball on the 32 to start.
1st and 10. Let's see if the defense can kind of make it up. That offense seemed to start rolling. And now they're going back to this inverted set where they have 2 fullbacks, a tailback, and that time they give it to Ransom up that left side. And Perez catches up to Ransom, helps his other defenders make the tackle.
Wow, nice tackle by Luke there coming up from the safety position. Got low, which is a smart way to tackle that guy.
Ransom, one of the bigger players, and kind of runs a little uprightish, so to get him low, way to stop that momentum at the very least. 2:53 and counting here in the third quarter. Second half sponsored by Mod Pizza, Friends of Sayre. 3 wide receivers to the left, but now Cruz goes into the backfield. And it's a fake handoff. It's going to be handed off in the backfield. And there it is, number 4. He's acting like a ghost like he is on the sheets. But he's taken for a loss, though. At least it was still a loss, Pat.
Yes.
That could have been a big one.
Was that Caden in the backfield? Who was that?
I'm not sure.
I think it was Caden.
Yeah. I was trying to see.
Yeah, we had him tackled for it. It was a double reverse. We had him tackled for 8 or 10 yard loss, but he got away from the first guy, then he got away from 2 other guys. He still lost yards on the play, but it's really, if you're Parrish, you feel good about it because it was setting up to be a big loss. It ended up being a small loss. Big third down.
Third down and 7. Maybe 6. Yep, 3rd and 6.
Crowd getting into
3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. It's going to be a swing over to Bell, and Bell's going to try to use his speed to the side, and he does.
Oh, wow. I thought he was stopped.
Pass completion for Sayre.
He
Is
put a
good for
great
first down.
move on Sayre. He looked like he was going to be stopped. He put a great move, and like you said, the speed kills.
And Josh is the one that gave us that little nut. Come from up here, you know, when you're on the sideline, you can really see the difference in the inches. And he said that Bell was fast. You could see it there.
That play you could really see.
141, third quarter, 12-7. Paris leads over Sayre. Angelo Carriero, Pat Maddens. Frederick drops back, and he's looking at the rush. Now he's looking at it's going to be a hold.
Flag.
Paris pass is incomplete. There is a penalty on the play.
This is good here.
And see, after that first drive where Paris looked great, now we're starting to see the offense from the first half kind of show its head.
Yeah, here we go, holding. You're right. You called it. Now they're going to be 1st and 20. He hadn't made the signal yet. I don't know what we're waiting for. Here it is.
Yep, and it's holding
The
on
penalty
the
is a
offense.
holding call against Paris.
And they'll take that for sure. And I'm wondering if it was holding in the backfield. Look where he's about to mark the 10 yards off.
Yeah. Oh, they're marking it
from the spot of the foul.
Yeah, wow. You're exactly right. Now they're going to be 1st and what is it going to be?
1st and a while.
Yeah, 1st and
single back set. Frederick's going to hand it off to Ransom, and Ransom's going to run up the left side, but this front has been stout.
Nothing.
Pat, let me give you a statistic for this Sayre team. Sayre, defensively, in the last 6 games, has given up 212 rushing yards per game.
That's a lot.
That is a lot of yards that they have hemorrhaged, including 306 against Hazard, which, by the way, Hazard might have fudged it because it did not feel like that much to me. Like being there, you could have told me it was 206, maybe 106, I could believe. 306, I was like, all right, Hazard, let's stop fudging the numbers. But this, you could say the run defense tonight, with Ransom being as talented as he is, with Bell being as electric as he is, this run defense has been phenomenal.
The only success they had was on that first drive, and that's when they.
And on that fake.
Ooh,
that was a lot of motion.
A lot of motion. Yeah, there you go. Well, what?
Or was it a timeout? And I think it was a timeout by Paris. That was a little too much motion. Yeah, I don't understand that. I think the other guys can move, but when the quarterback moves too, okay, let's put the evidence on that. Let's just. Yeah. But right now, 38 seconds left here in the third quarter, second half, sponsored in part by Mod Pizza. 12 Paris.
Can I say something about Mod Pizza? Have you been to the Mod Pizza in Hamburg?
And I would love to go. I wish someone would take me. Yes, no, I guess I haven't taken it.
You got it. I'm going to take you. But if you look, there's a big picture montage there. And and they have in the middle, right in the middle, Sayre football undefeated. My son's senior year, the year that we went undefeated in the season. Our undefeated football picture right there in the middle. So props to Mod Pizza.
Props to Mod Pizza indeed. No, and you know what? Yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate it saying that you take me. I'll definitely take you up on that offer. But also, is it a good? Okay, let's just say this. Like, I'm a romantic man, but I might have a date tomorrow night. I'm just saying.
We're going to lunch.
Is Mod Pizza? We'll go to lunch.
We're going to lunch.
I was going to say I don't think I should take her to Mod, but if you advise it.
Well, you know what? You could take her. There's an outside. If the weather's nice, they got a fireplace.
The weather will be nice.
There is a fireplace outside. It's pretty cool.
I'm going to bring that up. All right. Now the triple motion of everybody going. Looks like 11 men are moving at once. As Frederick hands it off in the backfield. Ransom's taking off that right side. He got bumped forward by a Spartan on accident, or else he would not have gotten the gain that he got.
Yeah, what did he pick up? 8 yards, maybe?
Now Ransom, I'll tell you what, he was so big earlier, but now that he's been fully on our side of the sideline, not as big as I thought.
And
I thought he was kind of built more like nobody's built like Adrian Peterson. He looked a little taller, but nope.
Here we are, 3rd and 14. So he picked up about 9 yards that play.
He did, and we're going to have to wait until after the break because the fourth quarter is about to start here. We've got a tight game.
And
the
at the end of the
pressure's
third
on.
quarter, your score is
Could have a
12,
perfect night to
Sayre
enjoy
7.
football weather and a football time. Josh Moore on the sideline, Angelo Carriere on play-by-play, Pat Madden on color commentary. Paris 12, Sayre 7. Big third down coming back here for the fourth quarter. Sayre Spartans football, sports 96.1 The Zone.
Mod Pizza is the hot new fast casual restaurant where you and your friends can enjoy your very own artisan-style wood-fired pizzas. Made on demand. Individually sized, handcrafted, hot out of the wood-fired oven. Cheese? Yes, please. Oregano? No, thanks. Select from 40 toppings, 8 sauces, and 8 dressings. Choose one or choose them all. Any toppings, one price. Add a custom salad, hand-spun milkshake, house-made iced tea or lemonade, or a local craft beer or wine. You don't have to like the same pizza. Mod Pizza is what you make it. Visit Mod at our Hamburger Takes Creek Center locations.
Send your kids back to school with the perfect snack in a backpack. Mingy beef jerky. It's all natural. No preservatives, no nitrates. Cut from a solid piece of beef. And it comes in a wide variety of flavors. Original, Cajun, garlic and onion, sweet and hot, barbecue. Great snack for the kids. Mom and Dad, too. And Mingy Beef Jerky is a big supporter of high school sports in Kentucky. Mingy Beef Jerky and MingyBeefJerky.com. Check them out on Facebook and at Mingy Beef Jerky on Twitter.
As we begin fourth quarter play,
This broadcast is brought to you in part by the Friends of Sayre football program.
Angelo Carriere, Josh Moore on the sidelines, Pat Madden on color commentary. We have a big third down right now, 3rd and 15 for Paris. And here comes a blitz, and now there's dual flags. It's going to be thrown out, and it's a screen to the left. Ransom is going to run the left side. He's got a couple blockers. He makes a man miss, but he's going to be stopped well short of the first down marker.
Yeah,
but there were
flag
2
on the play.
flags, and it's pointed towards Paris.
I haven't seen a signal. Have you?
I saw the referee to the side point just one finger towards the right.
Oh, there he is. He's asking Chad. He says, take it.
And he's going to take the yardage. Interesting.
I know you could stop him. They've been 4th down, but they've been 4th on the 50. They would have had about 3 yards to go.
And you never know what kind of momentum can happen after that. I think Coach Pennington's making the right choice.
So it was either 4th and about 3 from the 50, or 3rd and 19. So
only 3rd and 19.
Yeah.
So it was 3rd and 14. Okay, only a 5-yard.
Yeah, it was 3rd and 14. Right.
Well, I just have to agree because on this one, because if they go and get the first down, they can start burning clock and the momentum goes to their side.
Yeah, I think you're right. Of course, Chad would know better than both of us, but I think he did.
That's
right
why I'm agreeing with him. 3 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Frederick's just going to run it on a draw. I don't think that's going to work for him, and it does not. The decision pays off. It'll be a 4th and long, and I believe this will bring out their punting unit. See, anytime there's any doubt, all I got to do is agree with the former NFL quarterback.
That's right.
And then I look like a smart guy in the room, which is far from it. But
4th and 14.
Yeah, he picked back up the 5 yards they lost. That's it.
That's perfect.
Really was nothing. That play, it was a design
And
quarterback
punt
draw.
return formation for Sayre is number 3.
Never really looked like it.
Doesn't make much sense either. If you're going to punt it from there or punt it from 5 yards, maybe they're just trying to catch him off guard. And here's the snap low, and there's the punt.
Pretty good punt.
High. I think it's
he
Jones
dropped it.
fumbles his second special team ball, but this time he recovers it. And I'll tell you what,
that was a scary moment there.
There's a flag on the field. And the Paris player kind of started rolling over. Never really seen that. Now he's down on the ground, really kind of, I don't know if he got the wind knocked out of him or.
He's up.
What?
Personal foul
on Sayre, but the thing is I saw him and another Paris defender maybe block below the waist, maybe. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe some type of I actually have a ref manual here, but I don't know how well we're going to be able to comb over this bad boy to see what that infraction was. Also have this one if you want kind of the advanced version of that. And Pat's going to try to figure out what the call was on that one because I was not 100% sure either. And the problem is that when I saw the contact being made, it was to Paris. from the punt team.
First and 10, Sayre from the 14-yard line.
Referee guide. What he's looking at is a referee guide, and it just sometimes it's. And I should know all the signals by now. It's just there's some that you just come out of nowhere. 3 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right, back to the right of Pennington, and he's going to hand it off to Slayball. Slayball's going to go towards the sideline and cut it up. But what a fantastic tackle by another missing Paris.
Number 3.
Yeah, number 3.
Charlie Slayball on the carry.
We do not. No.
He gains 3 yards.
If he got by that guy,
second and 7.
It was going to be a big game.
It was going to be a big game.
But that was a nice tackle.
Indeed.
You're exactly right. He had a lot of momentum going, but the other guy, number 3, who unfortunately we don't have his name.
And that's the second time Cowan, when he brought down Slayball earlier, where Slayball was just going as low as he could, and Cowan just kind of was like, all right, and dragged him with him. So sometimes Slayball gets so forward, he's able to kind of bring down with that momentum.
Second and 8.
3 wide receivers to the right. 9:48 on the clock as Slayball's going to get the ball, and he's going to be brought down at the 26-yard line.
First down.
Luke
Going to be a first down for the Spartans.
He gains a first down for Sayre.
It was a long 7-8 yards. He picked up 10.
Slayball.
He's limping a little when he's coming out.
I think he's taking some hits tonight.
From his 26-yard line.
He's shaking his head like he's okay. I think he's
probably just a little stiff. You get past it and then roll from there. But now, where are they going to go to offensively? Murphy's on the far side, 2 receivers left, to the right. Jones is in the backfield. They fake it to Jones. He's going to throw, and a man comes back in, and that's Murphy on the reception.
Yeah, he caught it, but he caught it on the ground, basically.
Luke Pennington's pass is complete to number 4, Owen Murphy, for a gain of 3 yards on the play. Second and 7.
Yeah, he was out there alone with one guy. The play was for him to come out and then cut back. He cut back in, and he cut back in, but he fell forward as the ball was coming. Really, nothing could happen.
Yeah, but I see, exactly. Have Murphy coming back towards the formation with momentum and kind of cut it up the field where there's some space. Good design. Second and 7, 8:35 and counting. Sayre down 12-7. They hand it off to Jones, and Jones trips, and Jones has just had a brutal second half.
It looks like he's hurt, too.
Jones carries for a gain of 1 yard, and we have an official's timeout.
That was strange what happened. I didn't really see him get hit.
He didn't. He fell. He slipped on the grass, it seemed. Now we're going to have an injury timeout. We're going to take an injury timeout with them, but don't go anywhere for the end of this game. Paris 12, Sayre 7. Angelo Carriero, Josh Moore, Pat Madden here on Sayre Spartan Football Sports 96.1 The Zone.
Bud's Gun Shop and Range, Kentucky's largest firearms retailer, has a huge selection of Ruger and other firearms to rent, so you can try before you buy. Our knowledgeable staff will help you find the perfect, rugged, reliable firearm from Ruger, like Precision, Mark IV, and American. We also have beginning firearms classes, corporate team building events, and free seminars. Bud's Gun Shop, Industry Road behind Eastland Shopping Center in Lexington, and inside Uncle Lee's in Greenville, Kentucky.
Winter Circle Trailer Sales and Service is proud to sponsor Sayre football.
Carrying high-quality brands like 4-Star, Corn Pro, Wells Cargo, and Adam Trailers.
Winter Circle Trailers is in the heart of horse country, committed to serving customers nationwide with new and used horse trailers, and their #1 priority is customer satisfaction.
Call our team for your next trailer. We offer financing and accept trade-ins.
Winter Circle Trailer Sales and Service, 3 miles from the Kentucky Horse Park, off I-75, close to I-64.
And the applause is for number 3, Caden Jones.
This week's Sayre Spotlight is brought to you by Mod Pizza. Early years of childhood are filled with wonder and exploration. Children learn best by doing, and Sayre strives to cultivate an environment where children are active participants, decision makers, collaborators, and problem solvers. Sayre's philosophy of active learning and project work is woven through all of their programs. Students are encouraged to try something new, to take a risk without fear of failure, to build new friendships, and to gain a solid foundation in the academic skills that are building blocks for success in our global world.
Send your kids back to school with the perfect snack in a backpack. Mingy beef jerky. It's all natural. No preservatives, no nitrates, cut from a solid piece of beef. And it comes in a wide variety.
I told her a certain time
original,
we'll come back
Cajun,
after this,
garlic and onion, sweet and hot, barbecue. A great snack for the kids. Mom and Dad, too. Mingy Beef Jerky is a big supporter of high school sports in Kentucky. Mingy Beef Jerky and MingyBeefJerky.com. Check them out on Facebook and at Mingy Beef Jerky on Twitter.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by the Friends of Sayre football program.
Return here, Sports 96.1 The Zone. Caden Jones was carried off the field. He's still in a good amount of pain as we're looking at him on the sideline. So I think that might have ended his day today. Sayre was forced to punt here with 8:14 in the fourth quarter, so opportunities are lessening.
It was a bad two-play sequence there.
Snap to Brady Atkins, and Atkins boots it down the field. It's going to hit at the 40, and
Good
it's going to start rolling, and it's going to roll all the way down to the 30-yard line.
Nice punt. So while we were away, we had a third down play.
On 29-yard line, first and 10.
We ran a short play out in the flat pass, and it took a while for the ball to get there, and the ball arrived at the same time the defender arrived, and it was quite a collision, I never saw it being ruled a fumble. I don't think he ever had possession of the ball, but it was a perfect time hit.
Yes, it was.
It was kind of an ugly hit on the Sayre player. Luckily, he wasn't hurt, but it was an incomplete pass, and that followed with right after the play where Caden was hurt. We're seeing him down there. It looks like he's still in line.
Yeah, it still does look like he's in pain. 8:03 left here in the fourth quarter. 12-7, Paris leads. Paris kind of scored in a hurry, just in a little frame of time, but after that, it has not been working well. And Ransom's now playing the Wildcat quarterback again, and he does not have his guys lined up, and they are confused.
Well, no, the quarterback's under center.
Oh, the quarterback's under center. Well, it is not working, whatever they are doing. As Kendrick, he's going to give it to Ransom on the right side, and that's going to be it. All of that motion for a yard.
That was
gain of a yard on the play.
I don't know what was going on.
2nd and 9.
I saw Ransom stand back there just pointing everywhere,
Yeah,
and I was like, all right, there's too many fingers going too many directions for anybody to know what you're talking about.
And the quarterback had kind of snuck up under center. He was hunched low, and Ransom's acting like he's the Wildcat quarterback, pointing people in all directions.
Good eyesight by you, though, to catch that Frederick was under center. It looks like Frederick is going to return to center. They're going with the jumbo backfield again, and it looked like he almost dropped it. The ball comes back up, and Ransom can be tackled again. This run defense absolutely showing their chops after a month plus of struggling. They are absolutely holding their end of the front.
Ransom had a little steam going forward, and there was a little hole there, but then linebackers just closed on him and then rung him up, pushed him back, really. They gave him forward progress for a gain of, 4 yards?
Yeah, it seemed like a little more than it looked.
But at the end, he was pushed back. They gave him a good spot, really, for Paris, that is. Bad spot.
6:46 and counting here. Fourth quarter action, 12-7 Paris leads. Third down, Frederick's going to drop back. Sayre walking him down downfield. Frederick, he's going to throw out to the side, and it's incomplete.
Nice pass coverage. Really, nobody was open. If he could have hit that receiver if it was absolutely perfect. Otherwise, he was covered.
Frederick's been very inaccurate all night, and that ball just way too far ahead. And I believe that Paris is going to play it safe. Now, if I'm Sayre, I completely scout out for, as you see, okay, look, Coach Pennington's right there. They are going to play defense. I was going to say, watch out for any fake. So what they were doing for a second was having Luke go deep. But now it's sleigh ball. But I think they're still going to play a more traditional style of defense down here, just in case a fake is on. Charlie down there, just in case the punt is legit.
What's going on now?
There's some miscommunication. It's going to be
delay a game?
A delay of game on the punt team.
There's a 5-yard delay of game.
After that first drive, which was so good, so well organized, this series they've been completely discombobulated. I don't know if we're giving them different looks or what.
It's kind of it's one of those things where you get just a regular attitude, your regular person, and then you come back and you do something spectacular. as the punt is down in front of Charlie. Charlie's going to pick it up and go it to the right. He tries to come back in, and he lands.
That was nice play by
44-yard.
Nice play by Charlie. The punt landed in front of him, took
Charlie
a couple bounces. He was watching it, and it bounced up, which gave him the opportunity to grab it, and he ran forward for about 6 or 7 yards. Whereas if he hadn't done that, we'd be probably 15 yards back.
And you know, Paris tonight, it's been like one of those, if you had a, you know, if you have a kid that's just, you know, constantly kind of bringing home mediocre grades, and then all of a sudden it comes back with like 2 A+ test scores, and you're like, look at you turning around the classroom, and then going right back to like, oh, you got another C-.
That's a perfect description.
You know, that's exactly what Paris has been tonight. They tricked you for just a second, but then comes back down. So 6:25 left here, close to midfield. Pennington's going to take the snap, hands it off to Slayball. Slayball cuts it up the middle.
Wow, what's that, a 60-yard run? 50-yard run. I don't want to judge it.
There's a 50-yard gain on the play.
50-yard run.
Where the ball was placed, because I mean, he had to cross midfield, and then after that, it's just, where did it end up on the other side? The 8-yard line.
Yeah, we started at the 44 on that play, so, wow.
An amazing run by Charlie Slayball, just breaking those tackles. I mean, the White Bronco does it again, and they are about 8 yards away from the end zone, and this game could turn around in quick.
Go ahead,
Sayre. Slayball is in motion. Pennington fakes the handoff.
Got wide open. Didn't overthrow it, just put it up there so he could catch it.
And one of the greatest designs of play call is taking Slayball, running him under towards the goal line so you bring the defenders up, because we have to stop him. Well, you forget your back assignment, and that's where Barnston just sneaks into the back of the end zone and gets his wide open touchdown.
Are we going for 2 here? Yeah, I guess we do. Instead of being up by 2.
Yep.
Yeah, we're going for 2.
You already have the lead, 13-12.
Yeah, so the 1 point doesn't do anything.
The 1 point does not do you any good unless a crazy safety happens. No, that's the only thing.
Stoppage, timeout.
It's a timeout on Sayre.
Timeout, Sayre.
Maybe Coach just heard me. He said, you know what, Angelo knows what he's talking about. I don't want to lose on a safety, so let's regroup here. I don't think he'll have to worry about it, but Pat, never say never.
Right, that's true.
Angelo Carriero, Pat Madden here, and Josh Moore on the sideline. Follow him at Josh Moore HL. Tremendous content from the sideline with shots and videos of the game. Go ahead, Pat.
I don't understand what happened. We called that timeout because the play clock was down to, when I looked up at it, it was down to 3 seconds, and they called the timeout. So the play clock was down to about 5 seconds. You take the opposite when Paris scored their touchdown. Remember, the play clock took forever.
It did. Yeah, and it didn't feel like there was that big of a...
No, it didn't seem like...
I mentioned it, yeah. It was
very long. I don't understand what happened. We should have the home advantage with the play clock. Apparently we don't.
Yeah, well, we're going to have to go in there and cause some ruckus here at a timeout.
But that's why we called the timeout. We were down. The play clock was down, expiring, of course, 5 yards to killer.
And you know, I think that even though it was forced by the play clock, it's not bad to have your guys regroup before a 2-point conversion because of how critical this one play can be. Not the worst in the world. Take it. Here's Pennington. Man in motion. That's Stewart in motion. He fakes it. Slayball pops it up. 2 points is good.
That time Pennington had to get a little bit on the ball because there was a defender nearby, but he was open, and Pennington got it right on the way.
And I got to tell you, Pat, this is honestly one of the best string of consecutive passes that I've seen Luke throw this year. Like, it really seems like that the confidence and the command that a young quarterback needs to develop over, like, his first start. It is his first year as a starter. He is just a sophomore. Seeing these moments down here to bring our team back and get the lead with, we're under 6 minutes here.
We got the lead. Last year, the games when Cole was hurt and Luke came into play, Luke scrambled a lot, which is atypical of the Pennington. A lot of scrambling.
Chad was not known for his
And neither Cole didn't scramble a lot. But I haven't seen him scramble at all. Has he been scrambling much this season?
No. Now I've seen him if he had to, but I'm saying like we're talking about maybe one scramble a game. He's been really confined to the pocket in terms of mostly his play calling, because there's been no design runs either. So it's not just Luke choosing not to. It's been kind of built into the system.
Gotcha.
Brady Adkins with the boot.
Wow.
And it hits the ground, and the roll goes right to a Greyhound. They are on it. Oh, the man breaks out to the right. And he's forced out around the 46-yard line. But they had him stopped twice. I mean, this kid jumped over almost 6 people. There was a pile on that sideline.
I don't know what Brady. That's the first time I've seen an Atkins kick like that. I don't know. I don't think that was designed.
Again, Pat, you mentioned it earlier, because Brady does not look happy coming off the field. I think the field being a little different because of the cold weather, because it kills that grass. It gets so much water and sun all year round, and you get a couple of 30-degree nights. And
well, he did dislocate his knee and had an in-season procedure. So
it was. You know, I talked to him. He said his knee feels stronger than the other one. His leg feels stronger now than his other leg, the healthy one.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Here's the snap. Frederick drops back. He's going to look. He's going to lock it up, and it's right there for a penalty made, but cannot be completed as Holden McCoy. He wasn't holding, but he was all over
that
Merle there.
And Merle, I swear, they got Merle at 6'1". I swear he looks taller than that.
I mean, the kid's only a freshman. He's been an absolute baller this year.
First and 10 pass from the Sayre 47-yard line.
That ball was a little bit high. Miller jumped up and got it with 2 Sayre defenders around him. He had not the other Sayre defenders didn't have a chance for the ball. It was actually a pretty good pass. The quarterback put it right where Merrill could catch it.
2 wide receivers to each side. And now Frederick goes in motion. He's looking down the field. He's going to run to the right sideline. He's going to gain about 8.
That was a slow developing 8 yards. He rolled out to the right, was looking downfield. The whole time he had an open field in front of him.
Second and
By the way, I
4.
thought you might want to hear this. One of the funniest things, Hal Morris tweeted us on Sports 96 on his own and said, "This is absolutely the most well-lit high school field I've been on. My kids' middle school team played there a couple of weeks ago, and the light was great." So right after you talked about that at the beginning of the game.
Well, we've come a long way here at Sayre.
2nd and 4. Frederick drops back. He's a little bit of pressure. Merle catches it over. Pennington's the one who's there.
Pass is complete and good for a first down. On the tackle is number 10.
I'm not surprised they're not going to Merrill more. I mean, I guess he's got, 5, 6 catches.
He
only caught those 2 on one drive and hasn't caught it outside of that drive.
I tell you what, if you're out here visually watching the game, this kid looks like the real deal.
He is just a freshman, and whenever you get someone like that, it is impressive. 1st and 10, 4:25 on the clock. Now Ransom runs to the right, and he has a host of blockers for him. It's going to be a first down before he gets to the sideline. He's going to try to power forward. He's going to get out and round it looks like the 10-yard line.
Hopefully it's right on.
His carry is good for his first down.
Wow.
Ransom that time, he really...
That was wide open. I mean, he hit the hole fast, but there was a good hole. But he hit it fast.
And then there were blockers in front of him.
Then there was blockers, and, I mean, we really didn't have a chance to get him until he got down to the 10.
Critical
first and goal
situation here.
It's right on the 10.
It'll be 1st and goal from the 10. They'll have to get all 10. Frederick kind of slips the handoff, and they're scouting it out immediately. What a good play there. I believe
and the big stop for Sayre
that
is
is
made by
Nick
number 62,
Willis, who returns
Willis.
today, and what a huge stop for the big defensive lineman.
Yeah, they faked to the first running back, and it looked like he started to grab him, and then saw he didn't have the ball, and then he immediately pivoted, and the quarterback handed it off to Ransom, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he was able to pivot fast enough and put his weight on taking down. It was a very nice play.
All over that one. Second half brought to you in part by Mod Pizza, friends of Sayre Spartan football. It's going to be a 2nd and 10, 2nd and goal from the 10-yard line. It's pitched back to Bell. Bell's going to look for space. Breaks the tackle, but he is going to be wrapped up at I believe, close to the 5, maybe the 6. I think in between. So it'll be 3rd and goal from the 6-yard line. Clock is under 3 minutes. It is 15-12 Sayre over Paris, but Paris is at their own 6 on 3rd and goal.
Wow, that play, when he first got the ball, I thought he was gone. And then the defense rallied, came right to the spot where he was, and stopped him for a short game.
They're going to need to hold up 2 more times because I don't really see. Maybe this is a situation they try a field goal, but they got an extra point block, so this might be 4-down territory. Frederick gets into the shotgun. He looks back. He's going to throw across.
And the pass interception by number 10.
This place is rocking, if y'all were here. I mean, great interception in the end zone. We get the ball out on the 20. The coverage was so good, I'm not sure who he was throwing. I mean, it came right to Luke. Luke jumped up and caught it.
I think what he was trying to do is catch Merle, your guy, right into the back of the end zone on a little post-in route. And as he was cutting forward, Frederick's just been up all night throwing way too far ahead. That's another example. Luke Pennington gets a 2nd interception of the year, first since the first game of the year.
He had his eyes on the quarterback. He saw where he was looking right from the snap.
Eyes on his quarterback, which one do you mean?
Well, yeah.
As the Slayball takes the ball, and boy, he is running with purpose.
Yeah, that was one of those plays, that last interception,
Charlie Slayball
where Pennington is a safety.
1 yard.
His job was to watch the quarterback, and the quarterback telegraphed where he was going with the ball. And Luke went right to the spot, jumped up, and made a nice catch.
We are under 2 minutes here. 2 timeouts left for each team. So after this stop, I would assume that Paris would call a timeout, but
I'm surprised they're not calling it.
I'm surprised they're not calling it now either, because if they get a first down off this play, that's going to pretty much, render this all moot.
It's over, yeah.
So the clock is burning, and they'll burn all of it that they can. 3 seconds left on the play clock. Pennington hands it off at Slayball. Slayball runs. He finds a hole and falls forward. He's going to be short, but it's only going to be about a 3rd and 3.
They called a timeout.
And they did call a timeout this time. It's going to leave 1 timeout
3rd
left.
and 5. And we have timeout Paris
for the Greyhounds.
That is their 2nd timeout.
On that play there, Charlie got the ball.
Now has 2 timeouts remaining.
And if he
Paris
looked like a couple Paris defenders were able to hit his feet, and he kind of tripped over. He had a hole. He had a big hole, but and that would have been ball game really if they hadn't got to his feet.
Now this is going to be the game deciding play, because if it's a 4th down, Sayre will likely punt it. And that is going to give this offense, which has shown moments of explosiveness, it's going to give them an opportunity in the second half. But if Sayre gets his first down, the game will be over. So this is the play of the game.
What do you go?
It's 3rd down. You know, I would not typically want to pass, and I guess you can't in this situation because you don't want to stop the clock. But that play they've been running with Barnston and Slayball to get them both at those levels, it's been the money play all night. So, but I probably would run it. What about you, Pat?
Well,
you want them to use that timeout no matter what, so that's where it gets hard.
I don't know. I think I might fake the run and throw a little short pass.
Yep, I like the same thing. But giving it to Slayball doesn't hurt, and that's what they decide to do. And it stops them at the line of scrimmage. It will be the last timeout for Paris. And we both were on the same mindset that the pass would probably be the thing that most likely get them the first.
And the way Paris was lined up, that's what they were looking for. Totally. That's why I kind of like going out and flat with a little pass. A safe pass.
A safe pass. That would have had been, and you know, even if you have to get it out quicker, make sure it gets caught and you're down and bound so that that timeout is used. But at the same time, what good is it, like we're talking about right now, you still have to punt it, and this offense still has a chance. The one thing you wanted to do was just not give them another chance. The one thing you did not want to do in a game against the number 9 Paris Greyhounds in all of Class A. 6-2 on the year. Head coach Tyquan Rice has got a good program going over there in Paris, but this Sayre team, you know, they are a couple of breaks from being 6-2 on the year. And that's kind of what's been
Well, Brock, like we said too many times, but the hazard.
No, I don't think there's enough time. I don't think you understand. I know you said you listened to the broadcast last week. Thank you very much. You can see it or listen to it on Sports 96.1, The Zone on the app. But if he doesn't get that concussion, they win. Or get that concussion, quote unquote. If he wasn't knocked out of the game on a dirty play. Atkins lines up for the punt. Let's see if Harris brings it.
Oh my gosh! Unbelievable!
And that's game.
There's a flag on the play. And the field was outside of this place. A 5-yard penalty. Which was for a first down.
Right, it looked like he was trying to get our guys to go. That's what I thought he was doing. He did it like twice, and I thought he was doing that to get the offense to it. You know what I mean? When the offensive lineman sees the deep, but then he jumped across.
I can't understand that for the life of me, because if anything, you wouldn't want to rush anybody, and it's like he was trying to get a jump on the ball. But that's the end of the game, and Paris, I think, Paris is sick.
Yeah.
But they are going to be sick all the way back to Bourbon County, because that right there,
wow,
2 more kneels.
Yeah.
And that's the end of the game. I got to tell you.
Wow.
I've never. Okay, maybe I have. I cannot remember the last time I've seen a game end on an encroachment penalty or a neutral zone infraction. When the last time a game was ended?
I mean, I think again, Chad was on top of it. I think he said, I mean, the way we took so long to snap it, and the way Breezy was doing the snap count, it looked like they were trying. Chad had thought about trying to draw them off.
And they're not even. I mean, Paris didn't even try to rush the kneel down, and without Brock Hoffman, without Wyatt Moore, losing Caden Jones in the second half, this Sayre Spartan team kept fighting, and at the end of the game, they outmatched the Paris Greyhounds for an incredible win, and one that's going to give them great momentum into the offseason. We're going to come back with the post-game show here. Stick around with us here. Sayre victorious 15-12 over the Paris Greyhounds. We'll be back. Angelo Carriero, Josh Moore, Pat Madden here on Color Commentary. It's Sports 96.1 The Zone.
15, Paris 12.
DV8 Kitchen serves life-changing breakfast and lunch daily. Try the DV Ocho plate, orange marmalade chicken on a warm biscuit, General So tacos, chicken salad, or the best burger in town. Our croissants, cookies, famous cinnamon rolls, and sourdough bread is made fresh daily. Dine in at one of our restaurants on either South Broadway or Midland at 3rd. Order to go, order online, or have us cater your next event. Check us out at dv8kitchen.com.
Buchard & Walks Orthodontics use the highest quality dental treatments and technologies to help their patients achieve the best possible oral health results. They keep your dental goals and needs at the forefront of everything they do. At Buchard & Walks Orthodontics, they take the time to explain your dental treatment in their comfortable environment with the belief that any treatment should be tailored to your needs and goals. 2 convenient locations in Lexington, downtown on East Main and on Perimeter Drive, as well as Frankfort on King's Daughter Drive. Buchard & Walks Orthodontics, dedicated to excellence, dedicated to your smile. This broadcast is brought to you in part by the Friends of Sayre football program.
We are back live here from the Sayre Athletic Complex, beautiful Sayre Athletic Complex, with a well-deserved and hard-earned Sayre Spartan victory, 15-12 over the Paris Greyhounds. And that may be a low score, but this game had action from beginning to end.
It had everything you'd ever want from a football game, and there's something to think about here. Sayre scored 15 unanswered. We were down 12-0.
That you stole exactly where I was going to go with that, because at the start of the second half, and Pat, I told you multiple times that this team is a second half team, that their second half adjustments are some of the best that I've seen from any team, including themselves and who they played. But Paris comes back, has the best drive of their entire game.
On the kickoff.
After the kickoff, they were able to drive, and I mean, they looked like, I got to tell you what, they really looked like a Pikeville or like Harlan, when Harlan really ran it down Sayre's throat a couple of weeks ago. They looked like that on that drive. And then on the kickoff, after we had said that their kickoff game was all bad,
we were bragging about our kick game, and here they are. They pull. I mean, the kicker spotted the ball perfect. I mean, I'm assuming it was intentional. But you couldn't have intentionally had the ball squivel and stop.
It was the
like it did.
Bermuda Triangle for footballs because it was furthest away from Caden, the sideline, and whoever the up man was, to where it just caused what's going to happen. Then Caden dives for it and he fumbles it, and Harris gets it back.
So we don't run a play. We hadn't run a play in the second half, and we're down 12-0.
That was after it was 0-0 to begin it.
Right.
0-0 to begin it, and then it's 12-0. And that's without touching the ball.
And then I think there was about 6 minutes left in the third when we finally got to run a play. Maybe 7. I don't know. Maybe am I right?
No,
on that?
I think if I could be mistaken. I thought it was like 5:35 or
that's what I
something like
thought.
that.
That's what I
Yeah,
think
there was
too.
6 minutes into the
5. Yeah, and so we don't touch the ball. We're down 12-0, and that just shows resiliency. It shows discipline. It shows good coaching, and it was a great game all the way around.
I think some of those words that you just used, like the discipline, the resiliency, it's a reflection of the head coach. It's a reflection of the kids. It's a reflection of the standard that I think that Sayre started to implement here with their new football program that's just been growing over the last 6 years and 5 years, and it's just to see what has become of it. It is that resiliency. It is in. Pat, they were the team, I think, earlier in the year that struggled with some discipline problems that we saw the game end on with the jumping across the line of scrimmage, having those penalties. What a fantastic resolve and what a fantastic win for Sayre this evening.
And see, look, you look down at the end of the field. I used to love, when my son played here, to sneak down there and listen to these talks Chad would give at the end of the game. They're unbelievable. They really are. And
I haven't got to hear him make one, but
you got to go down
I'd
there.
love to.
Yeah,
I really would.
The thing is, these kids love every second of it playing for them, and that's why they're into the game. That's why they perform so well, I believe. I mean, it's really, as Chad said, it's not just about winning football games. It's developing young men into men. And I think the men from Sayre took a step forward in their growth tonight. I mean, just think about it. 12-0, they haven't touched the ball, right?
Right.
A lot of people quit.
A lot of people, and I think that maybe not at one point this season, but there have been points that once the game started to crawl away, it kind of seemed like it. And today it felt completely different. They knew they were without Brock. I think that does something in terms of camaraderie. When you're without your best player, it makes everybody else pull their weight. It makes everybody else that much more responsible. You have to do your job tonight. You can't just kind of lollygag one play. Brock will do it later. Don't worry about it. You didn't have that option tonight.
And then we lose Caden Jones, right?
Right.
I mean,
and he was a focal offensive piece with Brock being out,
right.
And essentially it just became the Charlie Slaypaul show after that.
Right. We got to give a little shout out to Grant Branston. I mean,
yeah.
2 touchdowns. How many touchdowns have he had?
Barnston had 2. The only 2 touchdowns of the game for Sayre were both by Barnston touchdown receptions.
And he had 4 catches total coming into the game.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. That's true. That right there is fact.
Yeah. So now he's got 6 catches. Well, I don't know. Did he catch another ball?
No. He had 2 catches for 2 touchdowns.
So now he's got 6 catches and he's got 3 touchdowns.
That's right. That's a pretty good pop average right there.
Yeah, that's a pretty good stat. Yeah.
What other thoughts do you have? I mean, just from that, we saw all the breaks go, and that second half was so different than the first half.
Completely different ball game.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I like the interception Luke had. He was playing. The quarterback on the other side. Luke, being a quarterback, knows what to look for, right? Mm-hmm. And that other quarterback telegraphed exactly where he was going. Mm-hmm. I mean, from the minute he took the snap, he was looking right in that direction. Luke ran right to that spot, right where he was looking, jumped up and caught the ball. It was brilliant. It was beautiful, beautiful thing. I mean, you realize how hard it is to play the whole game at quarterback, play the whole game at safety?
It's not easy.
It's not easy. No.
Angelo Carriero, Josh Moore on the sideline. Follow him at Josh Moore HL because he has been doing great social media work all evening long. Pat Madden on color commentary tonight. This postgame show is brought to you in part by Winner's Circle Trailers, friends of the Sayre Spartan football program. Appreciate all of our Sayre Spartan football sponsors this evening. I got to tell you, Pat, I found out yesterday that you were going to be my my color commentator tonight. I found out about 5 p.m. yesterday, and I was like, oh, okay. Or maybe it was that morning. Maybe it was noon. And I was like, okay, I've never met Pat before. I was like, how is this going to go? I got to tell you, you tell me about your experience, because from my experience, I got to tell you, it feels so good to go into something. I'm a glass half full guy. I'm like, you know what? Whatever happens, I want to make this a good time for you. I want to do my. You made this easy for me tonight.
No, you made it easy for me. It was funny before we got on the air, you said, so how often have you done color? I said, well, never. You know, you thought I was joking, I think, right?
I kind of thought you were. I was like, nah, and then you were like, I was like, okay.
No, but you made it easy. I got to tell you, this is a blast. I mean, and part of it is the product we have to call, right?
Yes.
That's what makes it so much fun. And aren't we going to do the player of the game?
Of course, yeah. I was going to leave that for the end. I was going to let you declare our player of the game. I think I know who it is, because that's who I would vote for. But let's see if you swerve me.
I'm going to look. Obviously, Charlie Slayball was a workhorse. Okay, he did everything up and down the field. Okay, and I'm sort of the guy. You know, Charlie's going to get a lot of player of the games. So I'm kind of going with number 11, Grant Barnston.
You know what?
Because, I mean, 2 touchdowns. I mean, you know, when
there's your sprinklers, by the way, water in the field.
Yeah, I was teasing. The grass is all brown. I was teasing him. Don't we have sprinklers out here? But they're going. But I just think the moment, you know, he scored the 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Luke. There's no question that Charlie was the workhorse up and down the field. But I got to give it to Grant.
Can I tell you why I like that so much, and why as soon as you said it, you changed my mind? Because I thought we were going to go Charlie. Number one, you're right. He's been a player of the game before, so it's nice to spread the love. But the thing about Grant, I think it's symbolic of what it is to be a student athlete. I think it's symbolic of what's happening. When I say that everybody else has to pull their responsibility, Grant Barnston's a junior with 4 catches on the year. And he comes up with Brock out. They're like, we need somebody on this team to step up and to be that person. Grant, a junior, I know that doesn't seem old, but the seniors on this team, he's an elder statesman. He said, I've got it, guys. Like, I will make sure to show up tonight in the biggest moment without Brock there. It's so symbolic.
And you know what's sort of symbolic, too? You remember the kickoff, the first kickoff came to him. He was an up man.
Yep.
And I said, you know, it's nice to have an up man that can catch. Right?
Yep.
He caught the ball. I mean, that could have been a disaster if that was like a line.
First play of the game.
First play of the game. He caught the ball, did perfect. I think he's the player of the game.
I absolutely agree with you. And, Pat, it has really been a pleasure to have you this evening.
Well, thanks. I'd love to do it again. This was fun.
I mean, like, look,
I don't want him getting unemployment.
As he got sprayed by the sprinklers and all of that. No, but anytime, especially, I know we have a couple of games coming up, but if anything, we don't know what's up with basketball season or next football season. Anytime that you can come around and you want to hop on for a minute, I'd absolutely love to have you back on.
All right, I appreciate it.
So and that's all. Paris goes down to Sayre, 15-12. The player of the game, Grant Barnston. It's been an absolute pleasure tonight. Josh and I head to Bethlehem next week for the regular season finale. This was senior night and the regular season home finale. Then we got playoff football. Can you believe it?
Yeah,
it's coming up right here. But for Josh Moore, Angelo Carriero, Pat Madden, thank you so much for being on the broadcast.
Thanks, guys, for listening to me, everybody out there, whoever did.
Yes, sir. And thank you to Winter Circle Trailers for the post-game sponsor. And we will see you next week here, 7:15, for the pregame show. Angelo Carriero, Josh Moore, Pat Madden, thank you for tuning in. And this has been Sayre Spartan Football on Sports 96.1 The Zone.
Winter Circle Trailer Sales and Service is proud to sponsor Sayre Football.
Carrying high-quality brands like 4-Star, Corn Free